All right, we're going live.
I don't know why that was so funny.
Yeah, I don't know either. All right.
Turbos Flamas by Sabritas.
TurboTax. File your taxes today.
Yeah, we're looking at the Intuit TurboTax cam.
Looking at the guy. All right, we're live. Hello, everyone. It's Dylan from Yugioh Everything, and welcome back to another episode of Talking Yu-Gi-Oh! Crazy 8's. This is going to be an episode that we're going to do our best to uncover episodes 91, 92, 93, and 94. This is actually the longest break that Talking Yu-Gi-Oh! The podcast has been on since Vrains moved over to Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's. So we are extremely happy to be back after, I believe, a 4 or 5 week break. Because remember, there was also that week that there was no episode that we did not do a Go Rush or a Crazy 8's for. Was the last Crazy 8's, I think it was right after Jump Festa, right? It was like the 23rd or something. Yep. It was right before Christmas. So that's how long it's been.
It was the Christmas one.
Yeah.
Skip, and then...
Yeah. So, crazy. We have not been with you in a Talking Yu-Gi-Oh! Crazy 8's capacity since before Christmas and Christmas Eve, and I am so grateful to be back. I'm so grateful to be back with the greatest team in the world. Unfortunately, Dredger was not able to make it tonight. Pete is going to make it. He's currently upstairs watching 94. It was hard for, that's why Dredger wasn't able to make it, to watch all the episodes. I was not able to get it to them until Monday, and then, of course, 94 was late, so with me getting it over to them. So, but Cal, Nick T joining us from the get-go here. Boys, how you doing?
Doing fantastic.
I'm doing pretty good.
Good.
How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. I'm just very excited to be back. It's been a very slow January. We did have a 24-hour stream mixed in with what was otherwise a very slow content month. February, we are trying to upload a video or a short every single day of the month.
Go.
We're
So
back,
that
baby.
we're back. The podcast is back. Go Rush is back. Very, very exciting. And boys, for the first time ever, we've got 4 episodes to break down.
Yes, sir.
91, 92, 93, and 94. Literally, if we assume this is a 13-episode arc, we have a third of the arc. Boom, like that.
Done.
Boom.
This is a position, we've been doing this for years. Because when I started this podcast, the two of you were here next to me on episode 1 back in Vrains. I think it was the Windy Soul Burner, or it was around that time. But that was like our first live stream episode. So you guys have been here from the very beginning, just like me.
Yeah.
We've never had a situation like this. So I was thinking kind of all day, like, how are we going to do it? Are we going to go episode by episode? Are we going to just talk in a general sense and then just kind of pick talking points from here? I haven't even read the episode 95 summary, so we'll be reading that for the first time.
Wow, we got a lot to do.
Yes, I did see that the watch-along got copyright claimed. I don't know if it's being blocked. If not, you can still auto-dueling. If not, you can still watch the watch-along from earlier today. I do not know if it's still up, though. So, yeah, hopefully it is, but I don't know. But Nick T, we're 4 episodes into what we're assuming is the final arc of Season 2. How are you feeling about this season or this arc so far, I should say? And just to recap, episode 91 was Yuhi and Yumu and company infiltrating Kamos and the Hat Convention.
Yeah, the Warns.
It's like an Illuminati convention that they were infiltrating.
In a sense, yeah.
Yeah, like a meeting like that. 92, of course, was Manya dueling again versus Bochi.
Primetime matchup.
Primetime matchup. Episode 93 was Zion versus the Luke. Actually, a primetime matchup.
Incredible, yeah.
A duel where every time the wonderful people watching would ask, hey, what duel do you want to see? I feel like that was always a go-to for us, for a lot of people. The fact that we finally got that. Did it hit? Was it good? We'll talk about that. And then Rovian versus Princess, I keep calling her Prisaki, but what princess?
They called her Princess Minstrel.
Princess Minstrel, yes. Obviously, that is one of the duels, as there have been many, where you get a massive viewer bonus if you've watched Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's. If you have not, I don't know if that has the same impact. Just from, like, how deep that runs. But we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that, of course. So those were our 4 episodes. I'd love to know favorites, least favorite, and just through 4 episodes, how you're feeling about the arc so far.
So, for starters, because I won't include 91 necessarily in this. My favorite or least favorite because it's neither. But it is probably now by far my favorite start of an arc.
Okay.
I think it's progressed our base story more than any opening of an arc has so
Interesting.
far.
Okay.
Thank you
'cause
for the dono.
It's our main characters trying to forward the plot. They are trying to save Vulgarians in any way they know how by trying to get information. It gives us a tidbit there with Kamos saying, we can see the near future but not the distant future. Is there an implication of that? Like what that means for Vulgarians? Like, do they have time?
Right.
I think there's...
But
it lays a foundation of so much at play, whether it's questions, whether it's maybe some distrust in Kamos.
Yeah. Kamos didn't even say, to add on to your point, even if she can see in the near future, she didn't say, oh, they're in trouble, or, oh, no, they're totally
She
safe.
gave no indication.
Nothing. And near future means 5 years, 1 year,
What does it mean?
2 weeks.
A week.
What does it mean?
You just said distant.
So it's so
there was
vague.
An emphasis on distant. too.
Yes.
They cannot see into the distant.
But distant future to some people
Is
is
how
like
much?
1,000 years.
Well, exactly.
So, like,
it
was so vague, and that's what I said during the watch along a couple hours ago. You couldn't take anything from it.
It's so up in the air. Yeah, and I think that's what I like about it though, because it places like this uncertainty amongst our, because they're trying to read into those words, they're trying to figure it out, and like I feel like we haven't gotten that kind of motion in an arc opening, and that's why I really liked it. I also maybe a bit biased. I really like now they're being called the Warns.
And the wearers.
The Warn. As
So
opposed to
dumb,
wearers.
but it works.
It works. It's kind of sick, actually.
Yeah, no, it is. It is.
And then I actually was a sucker. Every time something like this comes up, the sort of joke based on the play of words, why like death to the spies in Japanese sounds similar to the translation.
Salt is a spice.
Sorry, salt is the spice. So I thought that was really funny.
Yeah.
So I like that episode a lot. If we're talking out of the remaining three, least favorite to or favorite, least favorite, it's the episode with Manya on both.
Okay.
It wasn't a bad episode. Like it kind of
going
pulled
up
your
against-
heartstrings a little bit.
Yeah.
Like with that being said, I actually did like it.
I didn't feel like any of these 4 were bad episodes.
No.
Yeah.
Like I'm feeling, in terms of the quality of the episodes we've gotten, I'm feeling good.
Me too. And we should. It's
In
the
terms-
final arc of the
I
season.
feel like we are treading water a little bit
Okay.
because we just got a Rovian, Princess Minstrel
They went
episode.
all out for that duel,
They did
too.
go all out for
I
the.
mean, it felt like the end of a show duel.
They
Yeah, it
didn't. They skipped the opening to play it later in the episode.
I know.
Weird.
know.
It was cool.
It was cool, but a weird decision. Yeah. An interesting decision for sure.
And then, but with that being said, like looking towards the next episode, I'm like getting a little nervous because like this episode focused on Rovian and
Thank you
Princess
for
Minstrel.
the
Yeah, or
dono.
Prasaki.
and then the next one is Mr. Tazaki.
Yeah.
And Asaka.
And
What-
Asaka.
what
But
do we-
again, that's
we're
heavy
trying-
sevens.
It-
Asana and Galleon. I mean, that's heavy
so that's why
sevens.
I'm like, I do find it interesting that we're kind of leaning very sevens this arc.
Very.
It feels very intentional.
Yeah.
And then if you look at that trend, though, my favorite episode of the 3 being the Luge and
Zion.
Zion one
Yep.
nods to sevens at the least.
Yeah.
Because we have our, what is the massage chair.
Yep.
And because obviously the Luge plays that dual role now that he is both Luke and a massage chair. So
Well,
he is.
And a duel we really wanted to see in sevens that we never
Exactly.
got was Luke versus Nail. That was a
Exactly.
duel we never got
Yeah.
in sevens.
So we
Yeah.
got Zion versus the Luge, which also doubles as, him with the massage chair.
Yeah.
So it's a really interesting dynamic there. That duel was like blow the doors off, I thought. I thought it was really
yeah.
cool. And again, forwards the plot in the sense that he's here, does the whole relic thing. Like a lot happens there.
Yep. And the Rush Duel robot at the end.
Rush Duel
which
robot
we'll
at the
talk.
end.
We'll talk
So,
about
like,
that.
I feel
There's a
like
lot to
They've
talk
set
about here.
us up really nicely.
Yeah.
At least in the subplot, and then even in the overarching plot, we get these weird sevens parallels that I think are extremely intentional.
Yeah.
So, all in all, 71 to 74. I'm a
91.
fan. I'm with
91.
it.
91.
91 to 94. Excuse me.
Yeah.
One disappointment though, which we have to address it.
Yumu.
No.
Yuga.
Even though, okay, well, I mean, yeah.
Yumu we'll talk about
Those
later.
guys
Yeah.
we'll talk about later. Who didn't appear?
Oh, Spring Heel Jack.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
so
Spring
for
Heel
those
Jack.
that don't know, we've been saying because the Jersey Devils showed up It seemed like there was a reference to the Mad Gasser
No,
of Mattoon.
no,
Some people think it was
no.
definitely him.
Are you, dude,
Yeah, I think it was.
Focus.
I-
Focus.
I think if
on-
I said it was definitely him, I would seem like I was like being arrogant and
Dude,
saying like, "Oh,
I was at home by myself
Yeah,
watching
yeah.
the episode, and my jaw dropped.
yeah." No.
So,
So,
no, this
so
is,
what we did is we said, all right, if Studio Bridge is actually watching, which I doubt they are, but if they are, if Spring Heeled Jack shows up in episode 91, a guy or
It would
an
confirm.
alien that jumps very high, that would confirm it.
did anyone? You know what? Maybe I wasn't paying attention. Did anybody
No,
jump high?
no. I'm telling you, everybody that watches this podcast, they were paying attention for us.
Yeah.
I think everybody wanted it to be true a little bit. A little
hold on.
bit.
I wanted it to be true a lot of it.
Yeah.
To me, a lack of proof does not disprove the fact that they will still watch it.
Well, the Mad Gasser of Mattoon one was weird. That was weird.
That
I
was
mean,
beyond weird.
Yeah, it was weird. It was weird.
Oh yeah, we're just gonna add this guy in a gas mask and a
Yeah.
literally the description.
It's exactly
of Mad Gasser
the description of the Mad Gasser.
walking down the street.
Yeah, it's weird.
Who else knows about that?
Well, no,
How many times in a conversation have you had Mad Gasser show up outside of this podcast or outside of our?
I can only think of one when our friend Christina was over. She's from that area, and I said, "Have you ever heard?" And she's like, "Oh yeah, but
yeah,
that's
well,
like a local story."
You had to ask her about it.
Yes,
Thank
yes.
you for the
Yeah.
dono.
And she was shocked that I knew about it because it's such a. It's not a. It's not like Bigfoot. It's not even
It's not
near
Bigfoot.
that level,
Not even
or even the
it's-
Jersey
it's
Devil
orders
level.
of magnitude.
Yes.
from Bigfoot and the Jersey Devil.
Yeah, yeah. So weird, but anyway, no Spring Heel Jack. Calibro, your thoughts here on these 4 episodes?
Before I dive too deep into it, you don't
Okay.
think that Spring Heel Jack could have just been them getting pulled up off the ground by the hats?
No,
I don't know.
I'm with
Spring
it.
into action.
no.
No, because people were saying, "What kind of hat does he wear?" And I was like, "I actually don't know. I don't even know if he wears a hat,
I think it's. I've seen a few depictions. He kind of wears like a fedora, like
like a fedora
Yeah.
top hat,
maybe a
type
top
thing."
hat. Well, there was a top hat.
No.
I mean, I don't know.
No, we can't make that stretch. But we'll see. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe they'll throw us a curve, you know.
Yeah, no. That'd be a big reach if we
Yes.
went along with that.
Big reach.
They may have also figured, hey, we already know what we want to do with this episode. He just wouldn't fit into the.
Yeah,
Scheme.
or it was
Or-
already done.
Or they're like, hey, you know, they might be that would be too on the nose.
They're
we have to
onto
keep
us.
it too.
They
We
gotta
have to
keep us
keep
on
it
our
more
toes.
obscure. Yeah.
It'll happen in like 15 episodes when we've forgotten about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll
That-
see.
that would
We'll
be-
see.
that'd be cool.
Something to keep an eye out.
Yeah,
you
of
know,
course,
something to keep an eye
Yeah,
out.
everybody keeping an eye out for Spring Heel Jack.
For your thoughts. I'm sorry.
All right, yeah. So my thoughts. I mean, there wasn't an episode I disliked. Although we probably could have done without the Mimi episode, and everything could have still gone as planned.
Mimi?
I mean,
Mimi?
Mimi, Manya.
Oh, okay. Although
Sorry.
Mimi returned.
I thought you returned.
I dude, I wish, bro.
A lot of people here do too.
She was good, man. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, for me, it was the nail. I was about to say nail. You started saying the Sevens names. Now I'm all in the Sevens names.
Yep.
Zion and the luge, I think, was my favorite episode by
yeah,
far.
it was
I thought
great.
the duel was insane, and as someone that doesn't play the game, seeing him use like the fusion cancel to kind of
Fusion,
like
yep.
cancel his own fusion, that way he could attack with more and finish him off in that duel. That was crazy to me. I thought that was such a cool like I guess technical thing that someone that doesn't play the game wouldn't even think about.
Yeah. Right.
Especially after you already had it used on him before. Like,
Yeah.
I thought that was sick. That was probably my favorite of the 4. 91,
Yeah.
92, 93, 94. 92 probably on the back end, and then probably 93 would have probably been my second.
Yeah.
Then the
fair.
hat one was good. It was just
Yeah, it's the first
they
one.
were running around, and when the episode ends, it's like I can't see into the distant future. So it's like, so how did that conversation help? You
Yeah.
know?
Right. Right.
So,
Yeah, I'll be honest. These were, I thought, a very solid opening 4 episodes to the arc. There was a lot more firepower than I think we normally get in the first 4 episodes. I remember the last 2 arcs. Obviously, if you forgot, 2 arcs ago it was the tournament, an Epoch's introduction. I felt like the first 4 or 5 episodes weren't great. It wasn't until Quadul showed up where it got really, really good at the end.
I agree.
And Zion showing up in like the low 70s, if I remember. And then last arc, we were in that weird memory time space, and we
And there
were
was a lot of wasted
floundering
time,
in
I
that
thought.
for like
Yeah,
7-8 episodes.
exactly.
So and
Stark
again,
contrast.
got really good when Quadul showed up. So this to me, has been the best start to an arc since arc number 5, the Ryugu, the Phaser brothers.
Sure.
Okay. So the Ryugu brothers. So I'm very happy about that. I think we're in a really, really good spot here. Yeah, my least favorite probably was 92 as well. I did not think it was a bad episode, and I actually thought the messaging there was really, really good, which we can go into more in depth maybe a little later on. But the messaging of, Bocchi leaving Manya because with Yugioh's lifespan running out, he kind of had an introspective realization where he's like, this happens to all of us.
Yeah, it makes him more aware of his own mortality.
Right.
Yeah.
None of us are immortal. Like, I got to make the most of my life, especially with a dog. Now, it might be different for him because he's an alien, but like most dogs have shorter lifespans than humans do, 12 to 15 years on average or, whatever it may be. So, you when you have a shorter lifespan like that, probably doesn't apply to him because he's an alien, you've got to really make the most of it. I mean, even us, we're here 70, 80 years, not to get like depressing, but like you do want to just make sure whatever you're doing, you're happy with. And if you're not, if your needs are not being fulfilled, you got to do something else, even if it's drastic. And Bocchi didn't feel like his needs were being fulfilled, so he leaves Manya. Manya felt that it was more betrayal. And by the way, what a goat. I mean, Nick T showing me the picture.
I took a screenshot. I was like, yeah, that's how I'm trying to be.
No, and Nick T, describe what's happening in that photo.
It's Bocchi in a crown and a cape surrounded by food and beautiful women.
Yeah, and now how many beautiful women? 4?
4.
I can see 4 beautiful women. Yeah. So, I mean, Bocchi's just trying to be like all of us, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's most people's dreams.
Living in luxury.
Yeah, and like
he's literally a king here.
Yeah, no, he's a king.
Yeah,
he's a king. And by the way, those women very happy to be with him.
They're elated to be
very,
with him.
very happy to be with him. So, that was actually hilarious. I would say 92 was probably the funniest episode for me, especially they made like the bitchy, jealous dog a poodle, which I think is so funny because growing up, I've always heard that poodles were like, they're like, prim and proper and they have like an attitude.
They're actually pretty vicious from what I've been told.
Yeah, no, I've heard that too. They can be very
not friendly.
No, and so the fact that they picked a poodle, and I love poodles, but because they're hypoallergenic, so like they're a dog breed that I can actually like be around quite often. And they're very intelligent. That's the other thing. They're one of the most intelligent species of dogs. So like for the poodle to be the like, sinister evil one, I think was perfect. And then the cow, being like scared and timid.
Yeah.
And I mean, honestly,
there was
92 was really funny.
It wasn't a bad episode.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. 92 was actually hilarious. And I think it was a good break from the plot. We did learn about Yuga's location, but, I picked 92 as my least favorite from these 4. Actually, you know what? I'm going to say 91 was my least favorite.
That's also valid.
I'm going to say 91.
As you talk about the jokes, like
the jokes in 92 were really good.
They were good.
The jokes in 92 were really good. And I'm someone who, as you guys know, I love animals. So, like, anything animal related is always funny to me.
Even just, like, unrelated to the animals, but very much related to Manya, just steamrolling the writer. We would have to change the script. And then the director's like, that's fine.
Yeah. Well, right. It's like these big actors can do whatever they want, right? It's a play on what probably happens.
It wasn't even the same movie.
No. And then the director, being kind of off his rocker, falls in love with like the whole thought of the dog bulking up and being an alien.
Yeah.
And then even the other animals fall in line because now they're scared of Bocchi.
Yeah, because he's huge and ripped.
So, and then they're able, Bocchi, they're able to kind of achieve their dreams together. So there was a really good message in 92. My opinion on Manya as a character hasn't changed. I like Bocchi a lot.
Yeah, he's great.
And London getting bullied was also pretty fun to watch. And then my favorite was definitely 93. What? You good?
Was that real? The Doremi fan said the sketch was drawn by Yumu's voice actress.
Didn't know that.
The Yuga sketch?
That's actually the one with the big smile.
I hope if that's the one he's talking about, that'd be sick.
I didn't know that, but I've
cool.
stayed off spoilers, so it could be. I just wouldn't have heard about it, so it could be true. But we'll get more fact checks on that. But 93 was my favorite of the 4. I just thought the duel was one of the best duels of the show. I think that could go down as a top 10 duel of the show. I really do, and I know we still got probably a year of this show left, probably a year plus. That duel with the defusion, the strategies. Was just really, really good. Zion getting such a big win, too.
Yep.
And then, of course, as we see in Yu-Gi-Oh!, the stakes are one way. The character that wins still does what he would have done if he lost because he sees the light. So Zion still swallows the gear, which was fine. And then the Rush Duel robot coming out. We'll talk a little bit about more.
God, dude.
The
implications of that.
Implications of that are huge. 94, I actually want to kind of start with.
Yeah, let's do it.
because there was a lot given to this episode.
Oh yeah.
For them to skip the opening and for them to play the opening as an insert song during Rovian's final turn. It's the angriest we've seen Rovian.
Yep.
Some of the animation shots
were
were beautifully drawn.
yeah.
The shot of Prasaki,
Yeah,
like when she
said
called
you're
her.
a naive fool.
Yes.
Dude,
Yeah.
cold.
An
That was
insane image. I mean,
That was awesome.
the shot, and then the next shot of Rovian too was so well drawn, and then like the dual field changing and the aura. Oh my god, it was such a good duel.
He pulled out the
Thank
stops in the
you.
second.
They really
For
did.
the
And it's funny because
dono.
Rovian against Go Ayuna, I remember I said I went from like not liking Rovian to being like, she's fine. Like I don't have an opinion on her. Rovian definitely grew a little bit for me in this episode as well. So she's grown the last two duels, especially her kind of realizing about the space poems not being it. Well, it was Prasaki who said they don't put food on the table. And
if we're talking themes that are meaningful,
Yeah.
like someone trying to convince you that what you love and what makes you happy is not a viable like form of income.
Yeah.
Like not. Yeah. It's like
Yeah.
absolutely not.
Yeah, absolutely not. But like, the thing that I love about that, because I even said it during the watch along, I'm like, her saying it as a definitive is totally wrong, totally
Exactly.
unfair.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
But her saying the whole space poems don't put food on the table, she's not entirely wrong to say that.
No.
And I think
you have to want it.
right, you have to want it. You also sometimes have to get lucky.
Yeah. Of
And
course.
like, I think about my parents, right? They were musicians. Like full time until they were probably 27, 28. And then they realized, listen, we're just not going to be able to make enough money doing this.
Sure.
My dad went back to school to do computers. My mom got a job, I think, with her dad's company. And then they worked. But as you know, they never stopped making music. They never stopped doing. How many times would you come over 6, 7 o'clock? My dad's playing guitar in the main room
All the time.
So like, even though that wasn't giving them money where they could survive and live off of it, they were still doing what they loved, and they were able to have a very fulfilling life through music.
They didn't put it behind them.
They didn't put it behind them, right? So there can be that happy balance and happy medium, and that's a lesson that they taught me. Like, if you love doing something, you should do it, even if it's not even if you have to do something on the side as well. And you can't make it your full career. You should still do it if you love it, and that's why I didn't agree with the message of if you love it, it's
Exactly.
worthless.
And I think
Doesn't
that's
your mom still sing too.
Yeah, my mom plays at retirement homes, and they still play at shows. They were at someplace in Keyport a couple of
they still play
or
like,
Belford
pretty
a couple
frequently.
of weeks ago. Yeah, but no, they never stopped doing that. But like I do see it from her perspective as well, where like there sometimes is that point where like you're not able to do this with your life.
Oh, for sure.
And that I love that messaging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that like it was almost inspiring to Rovian in the sense that's like, no, like I want to prove you wrong. I'm going to prove you wrong because this is my life. Like from sealing away space poems to sort of flying in the face of that message, like was inspiring.
And that curry poem was just too tasteful.
The curry poem, of course, a reference to like Roman.
Exactly,
and,
dude.
Yeah.
Another like
Well, even Prima Guitarna. We haven't even talked
Guitarna.
about Prima Guitarna.
Oh, yeah.
Roman's ace, and she summons 3 Prima Guitarnas on the
Yeah.
field.
it was
Yeah.
sick.
I mean, how amazing is that,
That was
man? They
amazing.
animate the field spell, which Vrains, which is your first shows, they never animated those field spells.
No.
That always annoyed me about Vrains. I think they did one of Bowman's, there was one field spell they did during that arc, but like to see the field spells animated, which we've seen in 7s, is always really cool.
It's
Remembering that they didn't always do that, or at least they skipped it in Vrains. But yeah, I mean, Nick T, that Rovian, obviously music was at the kind of center of
Yeah.
it. Music rings big with you. I mean,
course.
like, what did I know you said you like 93 more, but I mean, what were your thoughts on
Oh, I
Rovian
love,
and
like it was
94?
close. When I
Yeah.
said that, it was close because I really did love
No, I thought it was a great
94.
episode. Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm even though obviously I'm realistic, I think I'm with Rovian in the camp. Like, you don't just drop something because it doesn't make you money or doesn't isn't your livelihood. And I like resonated with that. It's like, you can't just seal something away because you think it's
Especially if you truly love it.
exactly.
Yeah.
And
You
it's
know?
clear she did,
Yeah.
but she, and that came
As we're talking about. We're talking about 94. All right, Pete's here. He said Rovian man and then walked away, so he's got a lot to say. But Nick T.
Yeah, just like the idea that like she was following a path that was laid out by Kamo, and then only for it to be revealed like why she was there in the first place.
Right.
And I think that like was like sort of in a sense like her fate to set up on putting her space poems aside, only to discover that like that's not what was meant for her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well said.
I love how there's not a chair. Yeah, where are those? Oh, they're all those.
Oh
pictures are
yeah.
upstairs.
I'm sorry about that. I didn't even realize. It's right upstairs. Yeah. No, you're good.
No.
You can sit in my chair.
Cal, what did you think about 94?
I liked 94.
Yeah.
I agree with like Nick T. It was like basically you find out Camos is almost putting her on this track so that she can realize herself that the space poems are important and like that she should pursue what she loves. And I think the best part about it is like she convinces Princess
Minstrel.
I just wanted to call her Princess
G. Yeah.
Princess Minstrel. Like
I had
basically
to write it
convinces
down.
her that like you can still do this too. Like even at
Yeah.
the end, she's like, I wonder if I can still sing, and the other guys are like, yeah, like please do it.
Yeah.
Like,
Please. Yeah.
Literally, they're like, it'll be trouble if you do.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'd be so happy it would be a problem.
Yeah,
is what he
that's what they
said.
said.
What does that mean?
That's the old people talking. I don't know, man.
That's such a good line. Though.
Y'all different.
Yeah,
He's
different.
so
I do have to say also, it's been a while since they set us up for it, but Rovian saying, oh, I don't believe you. And then he's like, it's not my problem whether you believe it or not.
mine,
What do you
know.
believe?
Oh,
Yeah.
they got us.
They got us.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since they hit us with it.
It has been.
So
It
the
really has
setup
been.
was perfect.
Yeah.
It was money. That was money.
Pete, welcome to the podcast. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Of course,
Hello,
dude.
everyone.
Pete,
How are you?
Pete is here. Pete, I would love for you to quickly just go over your thoughts on these first 4 episodes of arc number 8, and your favorite, least favorite. Just a reminder, 91 was the Camos
Yeah,
infiltration.
I watched them all today.
92, Manya Bochi.
they're
Oh,
pretty-
they're all
pretty in
fresh.
the skull.
Zion Lug, and then
I just watched the last 2 episodes on double speed, so I'm really glad that I'm used to anime watching
Yes.
because that was intense.
that's good.
Really good. Actually, you can't say that about a lot of starts to the arc.
I
actually
agree.
thought this might have been the strongest start to an arc of the show.
Nick T said that too. Yeah.
I haven't been watching podcasts, I swear. I don't. There was just every episode was engaged. Honestly, even Manya and Bochi wasn't bad.
No, it wasn't.
You know, there was some actual character development there, and I kind of thought that episode had a little bit of heart to it, more than I expected it to be.
Mm-hmm.
And the last 2, especially 93 and 94, which was great. I mean, showcasing my girl Rovia, and I mean, come on,
She was great.
I mean, what an episode! It's like the
what an
episode was
episode.
tailor made for me. It was really exciting.
Beautiful.
And I saw you talk about. I caught the end of the stream
Yeah.
today. Very interesting what they're doing with Yumu, which is next to nothing.
Which is nothing.
Yeah.
Is it interesting? I mean, they're
Yeah,
doing
no,
nothing.
I think because they're doing nothing, that's what makes it interesting. And
I mean, I can't
it's
think.
very weird, especially when the episode 94. Like I said, I liked all of them, but like episode 94, aside from the Rovian stuff, like God, it was like they got extra budget. I mean, the visuals
Yeah.
were crazy.
So
they
good.
went all out
I mean,
for it.
It was like, and I saw you say this at the end, and I also wholeheartedly agree with you. I'm not a huge fan of opening 2, but I still like when they drop the openings
Me too.
into
Yeah.
anime.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
really
me
enjoy
too.
that. And to see that happen here, and for her to get so much of a spotlight, and still leave it where Rovian could grow as a character still and be on another path now, I thought was really, really cool. And I just wonder about Yumu of like, we had the poster slide already, and then I mean, she's just doing next to nothing. And I don't mean for these 4 episodes of the arc. I mean it really feels like this entire season. I mean, you can honestly go back to season 1. Really, I can make a legitimate argument in my mind after the first 2 arcs of this show. She's really decreased since then. Right? That was episode 26?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like she's gone down and down and down every arc. And now it's like she doesn't even exist. I mean, it's like they don't even write her into anything at all. Like, she's just there.
Yeah.
And in this way of like being like, oh, I'm here with the relic. So like you guys are running UTS, and then we cut to Yuhi and Udius just running that, and that starts the whole Rovian story. And it's like it reminds me of when you're watching a live action show and something's going on in the real person's life. So they kind of have to write them out a little bit by, hey, he's doing this case on the other side of the coast or something like that. Yeah. It feels like they're doing that with Yumu, except she's right here and she's an animated character.
Yeah.
It's just super strange. I don't want to harp on that, but I did want to mention that. I just think it's weird.
Wow.
No,
It's really weird.
Good.
It's like we were praising this character. I think if you look back at the older episodes, I think we had her as number 1 out of the trio. And she's by far number 3 out of the trio now. Like, it has completely changed. It's just very strange. It makes me wonder, like, why? Did we change writers? Was there not an interesting story with her anymore that they couldn't, like what happened? I would be very fascinated to ask that question.
Yeah, it's very, I don't know, heartbreaking. I mean, I mean that maybe is a little extreme of a word, but in the sense of just like the show,
it's disappointing.
I mean, when you think of like, I mean, Rovian and Manya, in these past 2 of 3 episodes, I can't think. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. Can you think of one Yumu-centric episode where she dueled and got development and it was shown to have backstory as much as either of those characters just got? Because I can't.
No.
I can't.
I can't remember
Fisher
the last time
Sky?
she dueled.
I mean, I can't think of it. I mean, like Manya and Bochi have a deep connection. You give Rovian and Prasaki a deep connection.
Yep.
Where is it with Yumu? It's just not there. And we're gonna get that with Asaka next week. I guarantee you. With
I
Tazaki.
didn't watch the preview, but
it's gonna be
she's coming
Asaka
next.
versus
Okay.
Tazaki. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
I'm excited
very
for that.
Sevens centric again.
Yeah, but it's also too you get some nice depth. I like that you're giving kind of the older
me too.
UTS crew some love.
Agreed. But like Go Ayuna's had amazing episodes focused on her
love
and
Go
Rovian
Ayuna.
as well. So like
she even got a tiny bit of development here.
Yeah.
I mean, so someone's still. I don't.
You're going to the
They're
Curry
kids.
stand,
They're kids. But
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, this would be the kid equivalent of a little down bad. I mean, she's
Oh, yeah.
she's really looking for Yuga, man. I mean,
Yeah,
just waiting.
I get the
she's
sense
just-
that's
she's
going to be a
down
trend.
horrifically. Yeah.
Because, like, in 93, we discover, he frequents his curry place. Hey, why am I forgetting his name?
Who?
Mamu?
Damamu.
Oh,
Thank you.
Damamu. Okay.
'Cause the
Damamu,
character's
keep a lookout for Yuga
Let's be real.
when he shows up at this curry thing. And bring him right to us when you see him. Got it. Then next, Yuna, hey, gives him a bowl of soup. Come right to me when you see Yuga.
Mm-hmm.
I get the sense where we might see the next someone else. Hey, let me know when. Like I feel like we're distracting Damamu from their actual purpose.
Yeah.
It's gonna be. I feel like it's gonna be a running side, like a subplot.
Probably.
There is one thing that was weird to me about it though. That makes sense that it could just be like a running, like everybody talking, but like when Gohan Yuna's like walking towards the udon thing, she literally says, "I don't know why I'm doing this. I should be helping my friends." And then
She's in love.
And then it cuts to the next thing.
She's in love.
And then instead of even talking to Damamu, it's just goes right to the thing, gets the udon where she knows Yuga goes, and goes, if he comes, you come to me now.
Right.
And it's like, is she on her own plot?
Exactly.
Like her own plan
100%.
right now? Like,
Listen, Yuga's got
not
that
playing a
He's
lot.
got that space riz, dude.
He does have
And he does have space
It's just
riz,
he
but-
does. It's just the truth. And like now we're kind of thwarting the rest of the group's plans here of literally the Vulgarians maybe dying, and we could use Yuga. And she's like, "Yeah, I want to see him first." And, it's
And
all
then
right.
they can have him.
Then
Maybe it's
You
too
can
late,
have him.
maybe I don't know.
what happens happens.
but didn't she? Now maybe I'm remembering this wrong. Didn't Damamu say that Yuna goes there every day?
Yeah,
But
and
Yuga
she's like,
hasn't been
she's
here.
like, not every day.
Yeah.
I don't go every day.
Yuna goes here every day, but Yuga hasn't been here or whatever.
Because
Yeah.
she's
She got
looking.
super
Yeah.
defensive
She's
when that
hoping
happened.
this,
Yeah.
He's definitely purposely dodging all of them.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
it's not. Yeah.
Obviously.
Suddenly
He
he's not
is-
getting the same.
He
love.
is, and I will say this: he is my favorite running gag of this entire show.
Yeah, I can
mean,
agree
there's
with that.
just something about this man just going. And he just leaves.
Well, I
just leaves.
I can already tell you what's going to happen. Every single Vulgarian except Yugioh is going to die, and then he's going to show up. Hey, what's going on? What can I do to help? That's what's going to happen at this rate.
Yeah.
I mean, this is
I
crazy.
okay, I think that's a little ridiculous.
You know,
No,
what-
it's
well, you know what's a
crazy.
safe bet? Hey, Duty Nisha.
I mean, we didn't even talk about that. 91 gets
That was-
very
that was-
serious
that was
at the end.
right-
half of
boom.
half of
Half my
Duty
guy.
Nishaw's people. Boom. Boom.
They're dead.
Thanos snapped.
Gone.
I mean, really.
Wow.
And now did we really care?
Well, yes.
You should. It's.
I mean, those are potentially millions of lives, man.
They're not even real. They're Vulgarians are not real.
So if Yugioh dies, you
Wow.
don't care.
I mean, like, I have an attachment to him, so that's different. But like, dude, Nisha, I don't care about him.
He beat Yugioh.
Yeah, and I don't care about him. He's useless.
So you're saying you're okay with Duty Nisha dying?
I think I
Disappearing.
prefer to write it
Disappearing.
as peacefully disisappears.
Like, we don't know if it's peaceful. It could be very painful for them.
No,
It sounds
so
peaceful.
you're okay. I'm gonna frame this in a different way.
No,
With
okay.
potentially
Be my PR agent.
Potentially
Okay, yeah. Be
billions of a certain type of people to just be gone.
That I would disagree with.
I mean, I think that's a crazy way to word it.
careful. No, but that's what it is. That's what it is. We're talking Vulgarians, man. Come on.
But they're not. It's like, okay,
They're people.
Let me put it to you this way. Let me put it to you this way. You ready?
Yeah, put it to me this way.
Did you care when the Eternals were dying?
No.
Okay, because they're not real. That's it.
Did you just spoil the movie?
It came out 3 years ago. Give it a break.
Wait, they didn't die, did they?
Some of them died, and
Oh, but
they're-
that was like 3 people.
but they're fake. That's the point.
They're not
They're
real.
all creations. They're
Okay,
not
yeah.
real.
yeah.
That's exactly what Vulgarians.
But they have real relationships with real
so
people.
did the Eternals.
I
They
think
live for
Right,
thousands
right.
of years.
No, I'm saying that, but
they loved, they lost,
I would
and
be
they were
sad.
at the end of the day, they weren't real.
Well, what about when Harry Styles walked through in the end credits?
That was one of the worst end credit scenes of the entire MCU.
What happened with that?
It was horrible. It was terrible.
The other one was good.
It was
though.
terrible.
Some people have said that end credit scene specifically killed the MCU.
No, that's a ridiculous statement. But I'm that's a whole nother side. I'm more aggravated that the computer graphics in that scene were like inexcusably terrible.
Well, listen. Yeah, I mean, Nick T, what are your thoughts?
On what part?
Exactly. You didn't tee him up at all.
I mean,
On Harry Styles and
no.
the
Yeah.
MCU?
Duty Nishan drops the fact that all these people have died. So
Do
Nishan
you really care?
has reported.
Like I
No,
want you to think
no,
about it. Do you
no.
do you
I really care.
care?
I really care because it means it's started, and that means it's going to affect the
Yeah.
characters we know.
This is exactly how
Time
I
is
felt.
running out.
You
Yeah.
want to know how exactly I felt?
How do you feel?
It's like when you're scrolling Facebook and you see like a really sad story or reel, and you're like,
Okay.
"Oh, that's really sad," and then you just keep scrolling. That's what it was. That's what. Let's be honest. That's
so
what
like
it
you're
was.
scrolling.
You're
and
like,
you see
"Oh, that's
some-
really
You
unfortunate."
see someone you were
I'm s-
close with passed away. Then you
No,
scroll.
no, that's not what I said. That's not what I said at all.
I need to
That
move
is
on from this
not
specific
what I
part
said
of the
at all.
topic.
Don't try to put those words in my mouth.
I'm trying to understand where the line there is.
But just you see a sad reel and you just you
But
scroll to the next
but
thing.
it means that it's now a very real threat immediately to
Yes,
the people
but we already
know.
knew that was going to happen.
That's the only
and,
part of that you care
and
about?
if it had
No,
to start with someone, I'm glad it wasn't Yugioh.
Yeah, I agree with
Right?
that.
Like, let's do the Nisha. Who
Yeah,
cares?
like we wish it could have been.
Okay.
Never mind.
I wish it could be
Didn't
someone
want
is
it.
No,
not.
actually, no, not Dinwa. Who's the other
Muda.
one?
Yeah, like Muda, and he goes and he's like,
I'm
and then
clapping.
I'm ecstatic. If I'm there, I'm doing the jig right in front of him as he disappears.
We're-
I don't care.
It's a standing
I mean,
ovation.
this is crazy.
I think we just have to be real with the characters we like and don't like. Some of these characters are they're useless.
But you're gonna hit the jig if Muda.
You've seen Muda scenes. You agree.
He gets a little weird.
You agree.
He gets a little-
Okay,
Oh
come
my.
on.
Wow.
It's crazy. You
That's
can't
crazy.
You can't get emotional about every character. Yugioh dies, I might be crying. That's sad. Okay, dude, Nisha dies, I'm giving him a little peace sign. Like it's like, hey, good times,
Maybe
man.
like a little
I
head
think
nod.
Duty
That's it.
Nisha's actually gonna die this arc.
I do. I agree.
Yeah.
It's all right. Maybe a
Permanently.
little nod of approval, of like, you did good.
Do you know what I'm nervous for?
Who?
What?
I think Yugioh's on the chopping
That
block.
I would cry. See, that's different.
No.
That's different. Emotional. I have connection to that character. Mitsuko
Bye,
goes down.
Zuija.
I mean, I'm in tears.
tears. I'm
Mitsuko goes
bawling.
down.
Mitsuko
Oh,
goes down.
dude, I mean,
Tyler.
it's
a
full.
lot of
Hold
people.
Hold on.
For
Wait, who was the?
Tyler DeBoer. He'd be very upset.
Oh yeah.
He made the
No,
Mitsuko
but also
shirt.
Mitsuko's not a Vulgarian, right?
She's not.
No,
She's
so
not.
he's
But
safe.
I'm saying if she died,
Oh,
Yeah.
she died.
bowl it.
Yeah.
It matters.
What about Yumu? Yumu's not on the poster.
I would be sad.
Well, hold
Yeah.
on.
I would be sad, but I would hope she's going to a place where they actually use her.
Oh, okay.
That's what I would hope.
I raise you. Is Yumu actually not on the poster?
This guy. This guy's theories. This guy out here, man.
It's what she needs. At this point, Yumu needs that.
Okay, perfect example right
needs
there.
it.
That man just wrote, Hunt dies. What are you doing?
Hunt dies, I'd feel...
He's a child.
But
by the way.
be honest with your audience.
He's probably like 11 years old.
What
about it,
do
by
you
the
do when he dies?
I'd be very stunned, and I'd feel very sad for the people that would need to then deal with that trauma.
How would you feel? How would you deal with it?
I'd be okay.
It'd be BAU for Dylan.
I'd be able to like
Some
continue
people are
my
accusing
life.
you that you would dance if he died.
No, I wouldn't dance. It's crazy, but how does
Dylan
this
would
get
hit the
twisted to me?
gritty.
I'm
Yeah,
just-
that
hey,
makes
that's what the
sense.
people ask. That's all I'm saying.
All right.
Dylan's
So,
gonna hit the gritty.
Duty Nisha on 91. 92, we learned about Yuga's location. I want to talk about this as well. And
about
Pete,
it.
I talked about it with them already.
Talk about it.
That like we've been doing this together since the very first Vrains one.
love it.
And we've never had a challenge where we have to encompass 4 episodes.
Yeah, never has
so
happened.
We're kind of all over the place here.
Which is natural.
And chat, we might miss things. If there's any super chats, donations, that point
Okay,
things
we
out,
will
that'll
get
help.
to them,
And
yeah.
we will get
Also,
to them.
We do have to talk about the robot.
That's
from
what I
your
just
mind.
underlined.
Okay.
Just underlined it. The Rush
Krabs
Duel robot at
is
the
our
end of
robot.
93 comes out of the relic.
boop.
And the Rush Duel robot has been confirmed in 94 to have a lot of pieces of information within it. Maybe it's going to allow them
contains
to
data.
figure out how they can keep the Vulgarians alive. But, boys, what the flip?
Right?
The Rush Duel robot, the thing that was so important in Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s, went through the relic back into the past. The server on the moon, the Rush Duel robot.
Interesting, isn't it?
I mean, Nick T, what are your thoughts on it, man?
It all comes back to one theory.
What is this?
Give me an O.
This guy.
Yeah.
Give me a T.
T.
Give me an E.
E
Give me an S.
S
Otis.
What does it spell?
Otis.
I mean, like, I feel like again and again, it's the breadcrumbs, but this time it's a bit more glaring.
They also showed Otis, by the way, in 92.
They did show,
Yeah,
for
they
the
did.
first time in a while.
Yeah.
As like a flashback.
But as Otis.
Yeah.
In the relic.
In the
but
relic.
for the first time, not for the first time, that
For the first time.
He's like, it smells like a new car in here.
the tie, whether it's one and the same, but this destiny tie between Yugioh and Otis. I mean, what's the truth?
No.
Why is the Rush Duel robot in the relic?
I still think it's a bit silly that there are a lot of people that think that Otis is not going to be in the show.
Are those people still around, though? Like, have you seen people writing about
That's
that?
silly.
Not as many.
He's making up
I think if I ran a poll right now, especially given everything that happened with the
I
creator,
mean, you do have the ability to do that.
I think if I ran a poll right now, do you think Otis will appear in the show? I think like at least 30% of people would say no.
Can we run that?
We can run that.
Well, like after this one ends?
I'll let this one cook for a little bit and then I'll run that
Yo,
poll.
let him cook.
But I still think Otis, because of that, I think there really is some sort of destiny bond with you guys. I think you actually just worded that great.
you.
And the Rush Duel robot, remember, what was the last thing that fought Otis in Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s? It was that Rush Duel
It's
robot.
exactly that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That Rush Duel robot was being operated by them.
As they both go through.
Yeah, I don't know how the Relic was able to get this into the past, but the Relic has also been like a portal almost for time travel.
Yeah. Well, the question here is, was the relic? How did the relic even get to the past?
I don't know if that was ever answered.
Because he wasn't even in the relic, right?
No, they went in the hyperspace. The Relic, as far as we know, wasn't even around.
Exactly. So there's
The other thing is, and this has been a theory since the 7s days, does the Relic have like a mind of its own?
I think he made the relic once he got to
the past.
past. I think
And the
it's
Relic
still-
in 7s just lasted that long?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it seems like it's almost omnipotent in some
Yeah.
ways. Like it just lasts through anything. I mean, look, it resisted Zion's machine thing, right? You can't change it or do anything.
Yeah.
It's not furniture.
Yeah. Well, the Relic, though, if that's the case, that's where the timeline just gets so weird.
Well, you know, it's loopy a little
I
bit.
know. Yeah.
Bring out the whiteboard.
Yeah, I mean, we might have to. We have to get a perma whiteboard back
Oh, I
there.
thought you had like an assistant that like. did that
No,
kind of
no,
stuff
no,
for us.
no.
I
That'd
thought
be
we
great.
took a month off and we had
Ima-
a little production, kind of thing.
Imagine if an assistant just brought the whiteboard
Yeah.
out.
this?
That'd be crazy. Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
White.
Right. The relic still remains a mystery, but remember when people would get carded, how did we get back to the Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's timeline? It was because of the relic.
It was the relic.
Yeah.
And
It also
even-
turned people into furniture, sort of.
And also when Vulgarians died,
Turned people into cats.
when Vulgarians died, when
Yeah.
they come back through the, well, like Yugioh came out of the relic,
Yes.
which like
Well, that's because the creator, I think, set that up as like the portal.
right.
It's like when you die in like Billstown in The Last of Us, there's 5 relics that you can spawn out of.
That was the most random.
And when people get really
pull.
good, they can camp by the relics and then just murder you in cold
There's
blood.
there's spawn points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, exactly. So that was
Right.
a spawn
But
point.
like, what a random pull right there. Like that was interesting. It was interesting.
I
Thank you.
understood it.
No, I'm sure many
About
people
5
did.
people in the world understood it. Rest in peace to those servers.
Right. Okay, but the point being, Zuijo, like, and he had to fine tune it for it to be that for that to be the case. 'Cause at some point, when Zuijo dies, he walks out with no memories, and he's Zuijo again.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Also, he was a shirt in there too,
He's
right?
also a shirt.
Yeah.
Which was that death?
I still think the shirt is the death.
I think the relic can do anything.
Yeah, the relic can do anything, but it does raise the question that every time Otis walked out of the relic,
Mm-hmm.
was it death?
He was wiping his own brain every
Or,
time.
like was he dying and coming back every time? This time with memories intact because
he
of-
was just men
I
in
don't know.
blacking himself in there, just with the little flashy thing.
Yeah, I
over
don't
and
know.
over. He's like, "What's going on? Where am I?"
I mean, there's still so many mysteries regarding the relic.
There's a
And the
lot.
Rush Duel robot going through the relic and being found in the relic.
Fascinating.
It's fascinating, and it
small.
just continues to remind us all that are watching, even though like Quaidule's gone and it seems maybe the whole relic stuff's it's not over.
It's not over.
Oh, no.
It's not over.
It's very far from over.
Yeah, and like this is going to still be a really big, important point, at least I believe, going forward into this 3rd season.
I would not be surprised if we get a scene at some point they're inside the relic or something like that, and somehow the memory or a piece of Quaidule's in there to give some kind of advice in the moment that we need it. Would not be surprised.
That'd
to
be
see
cool.
Like that happens.
That'd be cool. You know what
At
I'll
all.
also say? I would not be surprised if at the end of this season, Yuga leaves and goes back to the 7's timeline.
I think he's chilling. I think he
At the
likes
end of this season.
At the end of this season is in like 8 episodes from now, and here's why I think that it's a real possibility.
Wait, the season ends.
This is the end.
Wow.
This is the last arc of the season. 2 big plot points right now ongoing. What is it? It's figuring the relic out,
Yeah.
and it's finding Yuga. And I just feel like in some way we're going to get at the end of this arc because it seems like there's not going to be a villain and a threat this arc. It
Which
seems
we
like
talked about.
which is fine. Seems like we're getting a lot of the side character stuff, which is really cool. I really do believe that we're going to get Yuga versus Udius at the end of this arc, and somehow, some way, the reason for that duel will get Yuga back to his timeline. I think we're going to do it, actually. I think there's a good chance it happens this season. That's probably an unpopular opinion, but I think it could happen this
I
season.
don't know. Unpopular. I guess I just don't agree with it, just because.
No, I think most people
I think
wouldn't.
he'll be around for the show in his limited capacity.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe he took your advice, right? Maybe he ended up maxing out his Roth IRA, and he's using that money now on
Yeah.
some beach somewhere in the Bahamas or
Yeah.
something like that. He's just hanging
Yeah.
out.
Wait, how much
You
is
know?
max the cap is now set to?
So if you put I'm not being asked. If you put $7,000 into your Roth
A year.
IRA for 40 years, every year for after tax money for 40 years, you'll never have to work a day again.
Right, and that. What if Yuga? Remember he time traveled,
Yeah.
so that kind of sped up the process. What
Yeah.
if he did that?
So you think for like 300 years he put
I mean,
$7,000?
he's living large.
I'm gonna do the calculation.
You want to know the amount of udon he's eaten?
Yep,
I mean,
300 years. Let's see.
well, hold on.
I'll
You're
let
you're
you-
you're not putting $7,000 a year into your Roth IRA eating udon every single day. I mean, that's just wasteful.
No, he's got to eat something.
He's got to eat something.
It's
but
not that expensive.
It's like the millennials eating avocado toast every day. You think he's eating udon
God.
every day?
Yeah, he might.
That's
He
wasteful.
seems like he loves it, and you could get different kinds. So you could always
He
change
can.
it up.
I'm not
So-
saying it's. I think it's more of a luxury than a necessity, if you ask me.
In this case, it's pure sustenance.
It is pure sustenance. Let me raise you this, though, while you do. On a serious note, aside from the Roth IRA calculations that you have here on calculator.net,
I love this show.
the idea Actually, let the bit ride out. What's the number?
So if he did it for 70 years, he'd have 20 million in his Roth IRA.
Right. He is
And by the way,
chilling.
Matsubatown gets none of that.
For how
money.
many?
For 70 years.
70 years.
Right.
So if he works every day
And think
of
about-
his life.
And Matsubatown gets none of that money.
Right. They get none of that, and he's
So-
probably got 300 years.
Yeah.
So Crooked
That's
Asaka
cooking.
isn't getting any.
Hey, guy has a point. It's an underrated storyline of this show.
So swindling Dove Rap's not getting any of his greedy feathers on that money.
Uncle Dove Rap, he's got nothing.
Anyway.
Oh, it's tax season. Time to pay Crooked Asaka.
Someone make that meme
Oh,
somewhere,
God.
please.
Oh my god.
You think she's on the currency in that town?
No.
Oh, I think she's got the arrogance to do that.
She would.
Yeah.
But she would have to take all the old money out of circulation. It would be a mess.
Yeah, I mean that's a very hard thing to do. I don't know
Yeah.
if she could pull that off.
Yeah, I don't know.
She doesn't have the brains for it.
And you think if she,
No.
you think if she did, we probably would have seen that money in current day.
Maybe.
So if you could
They
did
never
it,
talk about money in the show.
if you could did it for 100 years, he'd have $192 million.
That's what I'm saying. The big bro is chilling.
yeah,
dude.
he beat the system.
Okay,
He beat
Yeah.
he's out here chilling, and
Yeah.
Caliber didn't take his advice, and he didn't join him in the Bahamas. Caliber's still working. Caliber's 75. He's out there in UTS at the time. He's doing the accounting for UTS. He's hating it. He hates being here, and he could have been with Yuga right now.
Too late.
He's
Cal-
got
Could've been
now,
with you
now,
guys.
Caliber, as the tax
He's got
advisor,
for not-
if you have 192 million in your Roth IRA, can you live off of the nest egg? What do you think?
192.
Million.
I think you
Could
yeah,
you live off
probably,
the net? The
The
interest?
nest egg. Yeah, the
Yeah.
nest egg.
Yeah,
could.
probably just enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Cal, like,
What would you recommend?
I would recommend reinvesting that money into a new Roth IRA.
Okay.
And then you have two of them going at the same time.
Cal, how is it in your 600 square foot studio there in Matsubatown? You getting by? Your half bath?
Well, it's not. It's only a half bath because I built the half wall, but it's actually all just.
You
in
going
one
to the
room.
gym to shower?
Yeah, this
Dude,
is
I'll,
tough.
I'll tell you something, man. You imagine you're in that apartment and you look because someone's moving in. Prasaki's moving in right next to you.
I knew he was doing
What?
it.
I mean,
knew
I
he
got to
was
tell you, all
No,
of a
no.
sudden,
Okay, you know what?
You're
You know
living,
what?
you're living
I'm not
there.
into the old
You're living
ladies.
there on a
No.
great deal.
No,
She's a
this
grandma.
is I
grandma.
wasn't gonna.
She's like 40.
No, I wasn't gonna bring it up, but now
you
we're
brought
bringing
it
it
up.
up.
Now you brought
Okay,
it up.
Bring it up.
there's been a trend here of you liking some older women here, which I'm not knocking. I'm
It's not
just
a bad
saying
I
it's been going on. You had the nurse.
so, but
now,
the
now
nurse
you
I
have
think is in her
Prozaki here.
20s.
No.
Maybe
No.
30s.
She's
Okay,
probably in her
let's say
30s.
your 30s. Okay,
Okay.
Prozaki definitely in her
Older.
mid
We're
40s.
We're in our 30s.
Definitely in her mid 40s
I
at the least.
I think she's
She's been doing the sewing for 20 years.
but I think she's older than she is.
Right, but I'm saying there's a
What?
thing here. A lot of these women have glasses.
hold
I mean,
on.
there's a trend going on
Wait,
here.
I need to
I
know
will just let it
fix
go.
that. No,
Just let it go.
Do you mean that she's older than she looks? Is she older or is she not older?
I think she's older
Do you think she is older?
than she actually is. Yes, I think
Do you
she's
think
younger.
she looks older
No,
than she
no,
actually
no,
is?
no, I think she's younger. Sorry, now I'm getting flustered.
And she's making you get flustered.
Let me say this. I like her. I like both of their character designs. We do have the Fonda Fontaine
you
emotes
said-
coming.
I think he said
Specifically,
aesthetically pleasing.
the
Right?
hottest character today on the stream.
I
You
don't-
said that.
I don't remember saying that.
Chad,
I'm just
if
being
you were
honest.
there,
I'm
you will
just being
validate me.
honest.
It said
I
you
don't
said
remember
the
saying that.
hottest character.
I don't
That's
remember
what you
saying
said.
that. But I'll watch the tape.
So now,
I'll
I
check
don't
the
think it's
tape.
more about Calibro and she's moving in next door. I think it's about you.
No, I'd be very happy. I'm a very happy relationship. I've got a wonderful.
You would be
girlfriend.
happy visiting Calibro
Thank
and going to hang out there because
you
you know
for the
the
donut.
possibility you
No,
might
I-
see her in the hallway.
Well, and maybe something happens between them. I don't know.
I think you're trying to push it on Calibro, but I think it's really about
Well,
you.
well, what do
He's
you
living
think?
vicariously through
Yeah, I think
Calibro.
you're trying
What-
to
what
live
do you
through
think?
What do
Cal.
I think?
Yeah. What do you think?
Well,
He spent a lot of time in high school living vicariously through Calibro.
yeah, I think you're continuing that trend. You know,
What does that mean?
you just want to hear about my experiences with
Prasaki.
Prasaki.
No,
He wants to
I,
hear
Yeah, right.
your
Yeah, you want to live vicariously. Like you're like Cal. Spared no detail on that date. How did it go?
No,
like
with-
that's
no.
gonna be
with a
you.
recorder, like with a recorder
Oh
too.
Lord,
Yeah.
Nah, first of all, I'm not Etienne. We're not going to do that.
the stray.
He still has that video.
I hope not.
No.
I hope not.
Hey, he's not that same guy you
All
knew
right.
in high school. Okay?
All right. we got to get back on track here. Zion versus Lug. Pete, some people are calling it the duel of the year.
I don't think anyone's calling it the duel of the year.
What were your thoughts?
Except that maybe it is one of the only 4 duels of the year.
Yeah, what were your thoughts?
It was very good.
Yeah.
I mean, I said a few weeks ago when we were back on the air, I wanted to see the Lug duel again. Got it. Wanted to see Zion duel again. Got it in the same duel. So how about that? Honestly, was shocked. I actually thought
Me too.
the Lug was going to win, especially given the stakes that they had beforehand.
Me too.
I was like, oh, he's going to win. He hasn't been around in a while. And then they were like, psych, we'll not only accomplish our goal by Zion just being a good dude, but we're going to have him win.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that. I thought it was a really fascinating duel. I think they both have unique styles and decks. I thought they went all out. And it was cool. It was cool to see Epoch kind of step in and help a little bit, see kind of their little character growth connection that they've had now that, he's kind of been a chair in their house.
Yeah.
And he talked about meeting, her and Alfred. That character annoys me so much. The
Batman Butler.
Horrible. His constant repeating of the same terrible
Yeah.
jokes is so bad. He's going full gear. I wanted to smack him. I would have if I was in the universe, I would have left him as a piece of furniture. But
I think they did that to show Udius being like oblivious to like.
it's just but
he says it again and again.
Yeah.
He's like,
for sure.
yeah.
But it was nice seeing that a little bit of the backstory, more of like Zion, like seeing him actually turn the people and how that went down, saying kind of Kwai Duel made him do it and all that. Mystery Girl had that as
Mystery
well.
Girl?
Yeah.
Right before the relic scene.
Yeah. So really good episode.
Wait,
I mean,
what?
these 4 episodes were solid. They really were.
No, I must have missed that.
Yeah. No, I mean they were all really good. I'll say this was the one that really surprised me in terms of duel result. I mean, Zion is obviously a good duelist. I just viewed the Lug as a very, very good duelist.
Yeah,
but
and I think now you see him on that level.
yeah, when you have 2 duelists like that duel each other, you just sometimes it's unpredictable. This was an unpredictable duel in a lot of ways.
It's nice too because I know he's not the same character, but that Nail variant to
Yes.
get a little more love, get a little more time. I mean, remember for all the praise that we rightfully give Nail, he only had 1 win.
Yeah.
So
No, I think he's an incredibly
it's a little overrated in the sense of
yeah.
how we view him. Even though I think as a person, as a personality, as a character, he's fantastic.
agreed.
But he has a lot of off-screen wins. Here, it's nice to see Zion kind of flex a little bit
Against a good character.
against a really good duelist,
Yeah.
and like be like, yeah, I'm gonna do what I got to do,
Mm-hmm.
and he still did the right thing in the end, which also gives me some brownie points for him too. I'm like, good, I
Yeah.
like that. I like that we're forming as a group against this kind of ailing threat of the Vulgarians being erased.
Mm-hmm.
I like that everyone in this 4 episode, I guess, a little arc because we're so behind. They all feel the sense of like duty. Like they're like, what can I do to make this different?
Yeah.
From Rovian to Yuna thought about it to all of them. Even like they kind of called out. Well, Manya was trying her best too, and they kind of called out Bochi, being like, "Bro, what are you doing, bro? Like we got serious shit going on." And he took it the opposite way of like, well, we might not have a lot of time left. I want to go out doing what I love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Which I respected.
even that, I kind of appreciated his point there as well.
Absolutely.
And he did the right thing in the end too.
Yeah.
So that was a funny episode.
We said it before you came on. That was easily the funniest of these 4. It's actually
yeah.
why it's not my least favorite of these 4. 91 was.
Yeah.
But the humor in that episode
I mean,
was
it
incredible.
felt like
With
I was
the
watching
poodle.
like a sitcom of like I don't
Yeah.
know what, but like that's exactly what it felt like.
Yeah.
Of like them trying to sabotage and go back and forth, and then Boshi has to reveal himself and save him, and then it's perfect for the director, and then you have the scriptwriter keep constantly being distressed
Yep.
because they're
That-
notoriously like they don't want a single word change from
Yep.
what they do. So I thought all those beats hit. In
He's
that
like,
episode.
well, then what about
Agreed.
the script? And he's
Yeah.
like, screw the script.
Poor guy.
So overall thoughts on these past 4 episodes. 91% of people either liked or loved it.
Wow.
6% thought it was okay, and only 1 person really didn't like it.
That's
so
not bad.
seems to be off to a very,
That's good.
very
That's a
good
good
start.
yeah.
I'm also going to ask about the Otis question now.
Otis.
I mean, there's so much.
Well,
yeah.
you bringing that up is because I just wanted to finish that point about Yuga possibly going back to his timeline.
Oh, yeah.
There's some unanswered questions even regarding that though that we very briefly touched upon when they were all cats, and then that was it. The fact that like Yuga, even as a cat, was present in his own timeline, while technically Simultaneously, he was
on his way down.
on his way down in the ship. Now, does it raise a question like
Was that him?
Was it him?
Right.
Or which is a much bigger question. If that's the case, they have a lot of explaining to do before he goes back to his own time, or maybe as he goes back to his own time.
I agree with that.
Or the second being, if he's present as a cat, then nobody was in the spaceship because they can't exist in two places at once.
That could get a little funky.
It could get funky
for like paradox reasons, but also,
Exactly.
he really is. I'll go back to, he's like the ultimate troll, man. I mean, they straight up asked this man in that episode. They were like, I mean, is that you? And he's like, I mean, it could be, could not be. I'm like, this mother, like,
well, to be fair
are
to
you
him in that
kidding?
case, he genuinely might not know.
But even if he did know, would you trust him to tell you?
No.
I mean, like the man, he lives for. I think he loves it.
Yeah.
He
he
wouldn't
really
give you a
does.
straight answer. No.
No.
definitely.
No.
We've met people like that.
Yes.
Like, could be.
Yeah.
It's like, why don't you just tell me
Yeah.
what it is?
Yeah. He's a troll.
Might be.
Yeah, he's a troll.
He loves it.
Yeah.
I love the guy, but he's a troll.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So no, it's a good question. And like, I think a lot of people probably would disagree with my take there. I don't even know if I'm like fully on board with it. I can just see it based on where we're headed.
Sure.
Where the two major outlying points of this arc are Yuga and the Relic. And I just feel like this, with no threat, we know that season 3 threat is coming based on the poster.
Yes.
I feel like this is a time where they could send him back, and I think it could actually work. And then, like, the focus is on the Vulgarians' livelihood, and Yuga has kind of run his course here. I mean, I could just see it happening, and I think it's something that not a lot of people are really considering as a possibility.
Sure.
But I could see it just based on where we're
a lot
headed.
of story to wrap up.
It is. But, like, here's the thing, right? Next week we have Asaka versus Galliant. After that, we should still have 7-8 episodes of this arc, and if there's no threat, like, you can do that.
A lot. Yeah, that's a good point. Actually, that's a very good point.
And
there's
would,
time.
You would think, right? The season 1 finale. Here's another good question. Season 1 finale, Yugioh. Very big time match.
Masterful.
Should have happened. Masterfully executed. Every season finale's got to go out with a bang, in my opinion.
Yep.
Season 2 finale. Where are we headed? Right. I think Yuga makes a lot of sense here at the end of season 2, because I don't know where else we're headed without some sort of villainous threat now that Quaidul is gone.
Fair. Before you go, Cal, I'm just saying fair, but we say that every arc because we're not writers. We say, like, I don't know where they could go from here, and then they figure it out.
We do. But
They
like,
figure it
but
out.
for the end of a season, Pete, doesn't it need to be like big characters?
I
that
feel
we've
like
been
it's
with?
Yugioh.
Could be that.
We're owed that real rematch. That's what I feel like it is.
Could be that.
And Yuga just can be out here. He's big chilling, dude.
So for me, I feel like that. This is where the debate comes in. If you feel like that's the ceremony, like, I think that's going to be the end of the show duel, Yugioh versus Yuhi.
Maybe.
But if you
think Yugioh will live that long?
Yeah, to the end of the show, yeah.
Not looking good.
No, but
good.
it'll extend. I mean, I mean, like the
Yugioh
whole
is gonna
the
live
whole
forever.
all of season 3 could happen in like 3 days, right? Like Shibuya and JJK, that was like 6 hours, wasn't it?
Not even.
Yeah. So and like that, you know what I mean? Though, like they can do it where like the whole season is a day if they wanted to.
That's
I don't
true.
think they would.
I don't think they would
I've
either.
seen
But
that in long form shows. So is Calibro and How I Met Your Mother season 9
Uh-huh.
over one weekend. It wasn't good. So
oh,
Yeah, it's
Game
really
of Thrones as well. You know, you just
that doesn't
sometimes you
even
just-
remotely connect.
no.
to
I'm
what
just
I-
saying
How
if
does it
the
not connect?
execution isn't great at the end.
Oh.
Yeah.
Win, save yourself. That was a good
Because
one.
I thought it was like no.
But Cal knows what I'm talking about.
I know
No
what you're talking about.
part of that show operates within a single day.
Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be fascinating. Caliber. I mean, right now, if you had to pick season 2 finale duel, who's it going to be?
I'm kind of leaning towards Yugioh and Yuhi
Okay.
because I don't think Yuga's going back, and I think if that duel happens, there's a good chance he would be going back.
Okay. That duel could happen and he could stay. Right? I mean, that's another.
It's always an option,
Yeah, but he could stay, but it's still. I'm trying to think of the best way to say it. Like, we have a new threat coming.
Yeah.
So, are they going to duel each other and then turn around and be like, oh, looks like a new threat's coming. You got to stick around and help? Like, I feel like it almost, if they duel at the end, it'd be him being like, I figured out how to go back to my time. Basically, and they'll figure out whatever it is that helps him stay alive, and then he leaves. Like, his job is done. He helped him live forever, and now after that duel, he can go home.
Yeah. No, that's fair. So Cal and Peter in agreement there. Nick T, right now, if you had to pick a season 2 finale duel, what are you picking, man?
I think Yugioh as well. I think.
Okay, so all three of you in agreement
Yeah,
there.
I
Yugioh,
just
Yuhi.
think-
It's not
That's
gonna
my,
be
that's my
Yumu.
second choice. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not like
Definitely not.
It's not gonna be Yumu, bro.
It's not gonna be Yumu. Like right now, we don't have a villain. That's not to say we won't get a villain this arc, but maybe, just maybe, like it's us versus time or us versus a problem.
Yeah, that could kind of be our antagonist.
Yugioh versus Father Time.
Yeah.
Yes.
No,
But in the
literally,
sense that,
though.
like, and in some roundabout way, Yugioh gives us the answer that it's rush duels that will, secure Yugioh and other Vulgarians' life, and or like true, like true friend, something like where Yuhi and Yugioh need to duel in order to like save Yugioh's
I think
life.
I got it. I think I got
He's
it.
got it.
All right.
What are you gonna cook?
So the Rush Duel robot, right? They're studying it. They say it's full of data, correct? So the energy that comes off of a duel with so much emotion between Yuhi and Yugioh, because they're two best friends, will generate enough power to give life to the Vulgarians.
surprised.
And the
Something like
person that figures this out is Yugioh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he comes back and he's like, I know how we can do it. We need the robot.
I mean, he left because he realized some things, and he's like, "Oh, I got to figure this out."
Yeah.
And the man's gonna come back, drop the sickest knowledge
Yep.
you've ever seen, and then by the end of the show, he's gonna be Otis.
But
So
how
it's
many
gonna be crazy.
Vulgarians must die before Yugioh?
well, what if it saves
I
all
mean,
of them?
Take
It brings
action
them
now.
It brings them back to life.
Hey, listen, you can't rush perfection.
No, I'm
Is
gonna.
that what we're calling it?
And if a few people have to. And it's hard even to call them people because they're not real.
Oh, and a few. We're
know,
talking
it's a-
potentially
they're
millions.
Not, they're not,
Definitely more.
They're not
Millions
real.
fit in one ship. 8.8 million fit on
Yeah,
one ship.
they're
We're
not-
talking
they're not real.
billions.
They're not
But
real.
they are. They
They're
have
so not
emotions.
real that when we cut to the ship every time when we see the people inside it, they look exactly the same.
Yeah, but they
You
all
know
might-
why?
They all
Because
might
they're,
have lives.
they're computer simulations. They're carbon copies. They're not real. They're not real. They're like a fall guy in a game. They're just
Copy-paste.
guys. They don't matter.
Guys
just
being
dudes.
guys.
They're just guys being
Guys being
dudes.
dudes.
You know?
I'm gonna give Yugioh a PSA. Every minute of inaction on your part, Yugioh, means millions of lives.
Now
lost.
that sounds more like a
Millions.
Joker PSA to Batman.
No, I'm telling, like, with your help, we can solve this problem. But
We can take over butts of a town.
we can
Just
take
take-
much of a
just
town
take-
back from Crooked aside.
Now that's another meme that we have to make. A little political poster season. I think that works perfectly.
I mean, Crooked
This,
Saga.
this ad is paid for by the Yu-Gi-Oh! Everything LLC.
We're a super PAC now.
And we get different clips from the show. You remember when she said this,
Go-
and then I'll cut to it.
Go Hyuna is a serial killer.
Chopping up business.
All right.
We have
all
fun
right.
here.
Yeah, we do. It's good to be back.
It's great.
It is very good to be back. Absolutely. Again, 4 episodes, a lot to cover. I think probably a good time to maybe go to some donations,
think we
super
should kick the
chats,
donation.
see if we missed
Kick it
anything
up.
here. So
Yeah, cook it up.
Let's cook it up.
let's cook it up. Cook it up.
This guy's ever cooked in his life.
Mitsuko.
That's true.
Thank you for the $3.33
Mitsuko.
donation.
Thank you, Mitsuko.
Where's my proposed new love interest? Yugioh is gone.
Right
No,
here.
the proposed new love interest was Spring Hill Jack.
No, it's right here.
Oh, right. No, it was Spring Hill
Episode
Jack.
91
I'll be
didn't happen.
Mitsuko's proposed spring love interest.
Okay, Nick T's there. How tall are you?
Only 5'8".
How high can you jump?
30 feet.
Nah.
I've got like a
30
I've got like
feet?
a 6 foot vertical.
Oh, he's good.
Does that
he's good.
include your height?
No.
No.
So you can jump and reach 11
Oh yeah.
feet 8 inches.
Yeah, I can dunk.
Okay. All right.
Nice.
Yeah. What happened in episode 91? Just why? Where was Spring Hill Jack?
I don't know.
Oh, they had his hat in the
You know,
episode.
you should because you got connections. You should talk to the people at Bridge and kind of inquire like what's going on.
Yeah, you should cross that bridge.
What's going on
Yeah,
here?
let me reach out to the people at Bridge.
You got
And
connections.
say, hey.
You're a big deal.
Yeah, and say, hey, why isn't Spring Heel Jack in this show?
I think you should
And
you
I'm
should
like,
float it.
the
What
other
are you
thing
talking
is
about?
Spring Heel Jack. Wait, was he real?
Maybe.
Are dragons real?
No, but like you know what I mean. Like
no, but
Spring Heel Jack Oh no, I think I'm getting a different. I'm thinking of a different Jack in Britain that they wouldn't obviously put in the show. Right. That's what I was
you
thinking. I'm like
kidding me?
because but that's where I was getting
Oh, you
confused.
were worried that
Because I'm like
when-
Mad Gasser Mattoon obviously didn't. He just gassed people, but not in a way that killed them. Obviously, he would throw just noxious gas into their homes.
I think you should
And then oh, that probably came out wrong. But then Bigfoot obviously has never hurt anyone.
Well,
The Mad Gasser didn't hurt anyone.
We don't know that.
So my fear was if Spring Heel Jack was real,
I don't
did Spring Heel Jack actually hurt anyone?
I don't think so.
But I don't think he was real.
I think if you're they're called cryptids. Is that what
Yeah.
they're called?
Yeah, well,
I think they're
yeah.
kind of
he was a
designed
humanoid.
to hurt people, right?
Well, no,
That's
but-
what they're there for.
but
It's
the-
like humans'
not
worst
like a-
fears.
What's the little the
no
pig's name?
Squonk. Squonk didn't hurt
Squonk.
anyone.
Okay, you see Squonk in the middle of the night, you're terrified.
I'm
Yeah, but if you're
terrified, but
terrified,
he's not
that
gonna
causes
hurt
him
me.
to cry, and then
There you go.
Yeah.
Imagine.
God, what is that?
But
Spring
Mitsuko,
Heel
we are gonna work hard. Is that
Oh
Spring
my
Heel Jack?
God.
Yeah.
I think he was one of the monsters in the cards they used.
Well-
in that
Oh,
duel.
you know,
We'll have to
so
look back.
I was wrong. He doesn't
What
have
is-
a hat. He
Looks like the
Devil
devil.
he's got like
horns.
devil horns.
Yeah, you got devil horns. Minutes ago, we're going to keep looking for you. I promise we'll find someone for you. Crystal Colden, thank you so much for the
Crystal.
$8.88 donation. 91, that was funny and no Spring Heel Jack. 92, a fine episode. I officially hate that poodle.
Yeah,
I know. I
screw the poodle.
love how they picked a poodle for it. 93, interesting. Glad to see Zion curses reversed. 94, weirdest episode to insert the opening in. And can I get more info on the twins' parents, please?
Yeah.
Yeah, Crystal. First of all, thank you for all the insight there and for the very
previous-
generous donation.
Previous owners.
Previous owners. They do keep dropping that. They've dropped it
We know why.
sporadically throughout Go Rush. Do you think we're gonna get anything on their parents?
Yeah, they're gonna be
Eventually.
the main characters of Yu-Gi-Oh now.
Okay.
We're going
main
back.
I don't know about all
villains.
that.
I don't expect anything on their parents.
Oh, there'll be someone.
Or if we do, it'll be like Yuga's mom just randomly showing up in 77 like she was there the
What do
whole
you think
time.
she's doing these days?
Probably wishing her son was not, was still around.
Well, she probably thinks he's dead.
Right. I was gonna say was not.
But he's
dead.
coming back.
Yeah, he came back.
Did you look at her like a certain way? Because she is a mom.
No, I
Fits in that category.
I think,
Nick T did. He put her in a video.
no, I didn't. I
She
did.
was
Did
an
I?
honorable mention.
Was she an honorable mention? We're gonna have to find out.
That might have been before she appeared. That was definitely before
Yeah, I
she
think it
appeared.
was.
Yeah. Crazy stuff, man. Really crazy stuff. Let me see. Dark Emperor J, thank you for the $2 donation. Random question. Every character in Go Rush has their own catchphrase like Epoch, Poop, Pooka Poo. What catchphrase would you make up and say every day IRL? Cheems was a big one that I would
You didn't
often
come up
say.
with
You're,
Actually, Yurt. I mean, I know I kind of stole that from you, but
you did steal it from me,
I-
but you do say it all the
I
time.
say it all the time. I said it actually I said it at work to like an old 70-year-old woman a couple
Yeah.
of days ago.
No, you
I
didn't.
do
I
it
swear
every-
to God.
And what she
I do
said,
it every once
She
in a
didn't
while.
respond.
because she had no idea what you were saying.
She said something like we were laughing.
She
I
probably
said,
thought you had a stroke.
Yurt, and then I just walked away.
Are you kidding me?
Would you say that too?
I've
An
I've
old
used it-
70-year-old woman.
I've used it in conversations with like to my mom or something. She's like, "Can you do something like yurt?" And she's
Yeah.
like, "What?" And I'm like, "Yurt."
Oh, you just double down.
What do
you
you
gotta double
What do
down.
you say, Nick T? Catchphrase. I know you wanted Cheems to be a thing.
I did.
Yeah.
I really did. At the bottom of my heart.
Yeah,
I know exactly what
Cyberpunk
mine is.
Edge Runners.
I don't think I have any.
What's
I
yours?
just think about it.
Mine, I will fit into any part. If I'm lying, I'm dying.
Oh
Just
yeah,
say-
That's
Yeah,
going.
that's
That's
a
going
good one.
anytime.
That's
yeah.
a
You've
good one.
lived your life by that motto.
Oh, mine might be living the dream.
Just like every other.
Every white
every
guy
other
in
white-
Yeah,
America
your standard corporate white guy, you know.
Every other white guy who hates.
hates his life.
His life.
I never threw out any MILF
Yeah,
slander.
I live in the-
Instead,
No,
I
I-
promote MILFs. That's what I
Actually,
do. I
mine
promote
would be
it.
sawed it.
Yeah, that's a
Sawed it.
Calibro one.
Aw, dude.
Sawed it.
I still, to this day, when I call you or you call me, that is exactly how I greet you every
Saw,
time.
dude.
Sawed it.
sawed it.
Natalie, thank you so much for the $2 donation. I hope they fix Yumu's character. She could be up there with Aoi and Aki in my rankings, but if they keep shafting her, then she will probably be at 5 or 6. She definitely needs to recover hard this arc. I think this next season, honestly, Natalie, I think this arc's already done. Like Yui has a bunch of moments, but can he share? Yeah, even 91, right? Yui and Yumu are both at the Hat Festival, but Yui's the one that has to explain
Everything.
the message to Udius and try to put the pieces together.
Did it all.
Why couldn't Yumu do it?
Don't need her.
Yeah, it's crazy.
She used to be the brains, and then he's now smarter than her, so she's.
The problem,
there.
Natalie, is Yumu's probably 3rd or 4th in the show in girl characers. So,
Maybe
like,
5.
how do you put her top 3 in girl leads, like in general. I just think it's hard to make.
You got to
that
give
case.
Caliber credit on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
You
where
thought he was
credit is
crazy.
due, baby.
Well, 10 episodes ago he was.
No,
yes.
I wasn't.
I don't think he
pre-
was
I
then. I
predicting
think
the
he
future,
was
bro.
what they call a future.
I could see in the near future, but not the distant future.
10 episodes ago.
Oh,
Well,
look
actually,
at this guy. This guy's
well,
using show lines.
there is a point I would still disagree with him on. I still would not put Ron
Are
ahead
you
of her.
kidding?
Well,
I mean,
she's done nothing.
But she's done at the time. She did a
She's
lot
done
more
more
effort.
than Yumu.
What has she done?
Literally, she breathes. That's more than Yumu does in half
No,
these
no,
episodes.
Dude, she literally got the like she did so much when
During the
was
phaser
good.
The whole
arc,
Yugu brother
she
arc?
held it down
She saved everything.
everything.
And what, announcing the tournament?
Are you kidding me? But the arc before
prior to
that.
yeah, prior to that she was killing it.
She
and
was-
then
she-
she,
Once she collected
She
their cards when they
stagnated.
got carded, so that they would
Yes,
have them.
She had a lot of cool moments, yes, but I'm not putting her ahead of Yumu.
Now,
That's
see,
what-
I think you just don't want to do that because in
You're
your
scared.
mind, Yumu is one of the trio.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
that's hard for you to realize how far she's fallen.
Go
but I think
Hyuna's
if you
better.
sat down
it's a tough
Rovian's
and you
better.
thought about it and
He'll
reviewed the
follow.
tape, I think you would go, well, shit, this might be a lot closer than I
Oh
thought.
no,
it
no,
was.
I think it's close.
Yeah.
I think it's close,
Wait,
but
who would
I
be-
wouldn't give Ron the edge.
I'm curious. You don't have to put them in an order.
Yeah.
Who would be the characters above her that you say she's probably 4?
Girl characters?
Because you said 3 or 4,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I'm assuming your top 2 would be Go Hyuna and Rovian.
No.
He would never put Rovian up in the top 3.
Go Ayuna. Well, I really got to think about it because there's a lot of.
Well, this is a Yukio Everything show, so
Soft-
Go Hyuna, Rovian,
I'm trying to think of other.
and Ron. All 3 should be ahead of her right now.
Okay, that's your opinion. Go Ayuna, I would agree with you on. I'm trying to think
The
of.
only one that's less important is Sokka, and she gets an episode next week.
Yeah, well, and right, she could surpass her. But there's people that would go to bat for Manya. There's people that would put Manya ahead of her.
no one
No.
would. No one would.
Achika Nozomi, big Manya Itachi
That's
number one fan.
person in
That-
the world.
there are absolutely people who would
one,
put Manya ahead of her.
one person in the world.
Well, I'm just saying that's the beauty of it, right? You can have.
now see,
He
you're
knows-
being a
he knows
politician
he's-
and
he
you're
knows
dodging.
he's
No, I'm
wrong.
not being, I'm not being a
Just answer the
politician.
question. Answer the question.
I'm trying to
if
think.
she's 4, who's your top 3?
I'm trying to think right now. Well, you know what? Maybe she's 2 for me. Maybe she's still 2 for
now,
me.
see, to me,
That's blasphemy.
I just think, and I'm not trying to,
Maybe
I'm not trying to
maybe
hate on you.
Princess
I
Minstrel.
think it is really
what
hard.
the hell's wrong with
She had a great episode.
I think it is really hard for you to just put in your mind like she's come down this far.
No, she's fallen.
I mean, like, and I
she's
think
not in the top 10.
it's like sometimes it's like it's hard letting go of that
Neanderstar.
idea that you started with that character in the beginning and then where they are now. I just don't think she's owed that top 3 spot right now. Like I just can't see how you could argue her being there.
Well, I still think she's done enough throughout the course of the
But
show.
Dill, realistically,
Yeah.
for the most part,
Honestly,
she hasn't done things in like 70 episodes.
No, I
like it's crazy.
Well, I wouldn't fully agree with that. I think her going up using that card when she dueled Neanderstar and kind of putting herself on the front lines was kind of a badass move.
I
on
think
her part.
Neanderstar actually might be ahead of her too.
right, maybe
Fair.
Neanderstar, Rovian, Ron,
There's
Go
al-
Hyuna. I mean, that's 4 right there.
In the whole show, I think there's only one girl even in my top 10. So like I'm now picking.
That's
you know,
just sexist.
No, it's not. It's
Wow.
it's
No,
not-
no, he's
and
on-
Go Ayuna is very high up there.
She's
She's
the
very
one
high.
girl.
Mitsuko.
She's the one girl.
She's the one girl. No, but again, like that's the thing. Separating those characters is very hard
So,
for me
like-
because they're all in the same bubble.
Let me ask you this though.
Sure.
In
Being
realistic,
women?
Yeah.
after this episode,
Yes.
in '94,
Yes.
like you don't like Rovian more,
Oh no, I do.
and she's still not at this point ahead of Yumu. Like she's
I-
gotten so much more development.
Yeah,
Yuma
she's
fell
she's,
off.
They've
she's
spent time
probably
on her.
Yeah, she's probably right there for me. And that's because she's grown and Yumu's decreased. It's not that she's, grown for me at least.
No, it's not like she's had like
Um,
500 episodes.
yeah,
but
I-
like Yumu is a part of the trio. This shouldn't even be a debate. She should be number 1. So like
Should be.
the fact that this is even
Should
a
be.
conversation is crazy.
Yeah, should be. I mean, that's the thing. Yumu's funny because I think you can put her probably as high as 2 or 3. I think it'd be crazy to put her 1 over every other girl in the show. I also think you can probably put her as low as like 7 or 8 if you really wanted to.
Energy, Kopiko, Big Sis
Now
Basketball.
we're getting ridiculous. Nah,
At least
okay,
he
there
got
you
some
go.
off the top, though. He did get some off the
Big
top.
sis basketball.
No,
Yeah,
that
no,
was-
it's
that
sad.
was Skylar.
We
Listen,
gotta
I-
bring
Yeah,
energy
yeah.
back.
I've really the energy.
Yeah.
Oh, energy
Energy
Capico.
Capico.
Yeah, yeah.
She never lost.
That's what I'm saying. She's a savage.
I've really I really believe that
podcast.
they're gonna treat Yumu well next season. But yeah, right now she's probably she's definitely
Is that
3 or 4.
if we're being totally transparent?
Yeah.
Because I'll agree with you. I probably also am like this. Is it a little bit of cope on our parts that she's going to be better next season?
Hopium.
Because I'm coping for sure.
No.
I'm coping a little
For
bit.
me, it's not cope because they've
So you have total faith.
they just did like almost a masterclass episode for Rovian. I heard that leaving off the poster. I have total faith in this team.
I think I'm coping
Total faith.
myself a little bit that I hope.
Maybe it's cope. Maybe
Just
I don't
because-
realize it's cope.
Hopium.
I have total faith in this team that they're going to get Yumu right next season.
I
Total
think
faith.
they're more at this point.
Total
They're Yuga. They're trolling us because they showed they can do it, and they're just choosing not to. That's more frustrating. Like in the past Yugioh shows, you could just go. I mean, they just hate female
they didn't
characters.
have it
Yeah,
I mean, it's
and Shin Yoshida's laughing about
right.
it, having a Mai Tai.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's
we knew
loving
that.
it.
Yeah, we
Loving
knew
it.
that.
But like in this, it's like now you're rubbing it in.
Yeah.
Where it's like,
Yeah.
come on.
Well, because Manya got a great episode,
this is
Rovian got a very
wild.
good episode, Prasaki looks
Well,
cool. Like, you can do this, you know?
Not only did Rovian get a good episode, like with the animation and how good it was, and just like how
Yeah.
everything looked so great. in
Yeah.
that, it's just what are we laughing at now? Nick?
Not at you. At him.
For what? What, you're trying to say I snuck Prasaki in there?
You did.
She looked
and
great.
you have been doing it.
And she
Yeah,
had a
you
really good
said
performance.
The hottest character in the show.
That's not what I meant.
will pull the clip. I
That's
will
not what
pull
I
it.
meant.
You said it in the stream.
But
today.
I
No,
may
but
have
that's
said it.
what
I
you
don't think I
said.
said it, but that's not what I meant.
But you
I meant
shouldn't even
hottest
be-
as in
yeah,
like
but you
she's
should-
on fire,
No,
dude.
you
Oh,
shouldn't.
she's
No.
rocking
Hold on,
the
hold on.
freaking
You shouldn't be
stage.
ashamed of that. She's
No, I'm not ashamed.
She's a 45-year-old adult.
I'm
You
not-
can say whatever you want.
I'm
definitely
not.
older
No,
than
I'm not. I'm not
45.
ashamed at all. But I'm just saying, like,
Roll the
she's
tape.
rocking that stage, man. I'm telling you, it was one of the craziest things I'd ever seen.
I mean, I think
Especially because I thought she was a few years away from going into like an old person's home. I thought she was like
definitely is.
67. No, she's like 30, dude. It's crazy.
She's definitely not 30.
She's probably 38 if we're
No,
being
not-
honest.
no.
No.
She said 20 years. And in the flashback, she looks
I-
like she's in
I-
her early
I
20s.
know
started
people
like 45.
that started sewing at 17.
It has nothing to do with her
But
sewing.
that has nothing to do
We're
with
not
people that
trashing
you
the
know
hobby
that
of
do
sewing.
that. We're talking about what we
We
saw.
were talking about sewing for 20 years, right?
Yes, but in the show, she looks like she's in her early 20s when she's performing in the past. So then she would be in her 40s.
But what if she was 19 in the past? Can't you see
Just
that?
she's 39. I mean, what are we talking about? Semantics here? This is crazy. The bottom line is
right.
you thought she was hot, and it's
All right.
okay.
I,
That's
thought,
great.
I thought her character was drawn in a very aesthetically pleasing
There
way.
it is.
There we
Yeah,
go.
Yeah, that's all. I listen.
Just
Hey,
like
very
the
well
two
done, very well
Makis that
done.
are upstairs on the couch. You thought that was aesthetically drawn as well?
All right, Crystal
Oh,
Colden, thank you
yeah.
for the $2 donation. Since I'm celebrating my first official fan art, I would like to ask, does anyone at the table have a moment similar to it with fans? Can be anything from fan art or a comment, anything like that counts. Fan art
Like
for me is
in fan art?
yeah, probably drawing like my my icon, I'd say, is probably
Yeah, those are really cool.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's probably my favorite when it comes to like fan art. Drawing me in like an anime form, and that's usually the Yu-Gi-Oh! Everything profile picture that you get to see. Yeah.
There was one, and I apologize for not remembering who drew it, but the one picture that had all 4 of us in it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I can't remember who drew it.
was it Kamau?
No. Oh no, it wasn't. It
has,
wasn't
like,
come out,
Nick T
but-
had like I think actually it was Pete that had the jacket on. That's like I think it's like Clueless Gamers on the back.
Yeah, I
Oh.
remember
Nick T
that.
had like the leather
Oh,
jacket.
what happened to that?
I don't know.
Someone
do we
I think
save
I still
that?
have it.
I think I have it somewhere too.
If you show it to me, was it Liz?
It might
could have been Liz.
Yeah,
It could
Lightning
have been
Liz.
Liz.
She's by the way.
She was around lately.
She is, and like I've always followed her on Instagram. Liz was very active during the Vrains days. Some of you probably are familiar with her.
Lightning
Ridiculously
Liz.
talented.
Yeah, and super kind. I mean, one of the
Ridiculous.
nicest people you'll ever meet. Yeah, her talent. She does like a lot of Sonic drawings. Really good.
Ridiculous.
Oh my god, dude! But find that picture.
I'm
I
going
forgot that
hunting.
existed. Oh my god.
It's been a long amount of years
Yeah.
we've been on this podcast.
Yeah, really.
You know, you're the worst. You see Nick T's screen? Look at this guy.
I opened the Finder, my window, and I forgot.
I mean, this guy's crazy. Now, you probably love that scene.
I loved that.
Dill probably loved that scene.
I mean, yeah.
It doesn't do it for me, you know.
Yeah.
Is that Princess Peach in the back?
She kind of looks peach.
A little peach.
Did you know Princess
Now
Peach?
that would be a good one. Oh my god, dude. That's your
you
April Fool's
know?
short.
Oh, that's a
right
good one,
there.
actually, yeah.
No one's gonna remember this podcast.
Yeah. No, I like that.
I don't know. We're being goofy today.
Limestone, thank you for the $2 donation. What kind of dogs are your favorites? I don't know, but I do like retrievers, German shepherds, and Shiba Inus. I'll go with you. I'll pick 3 favorites. American Hairless Terrier has to be one because I mean that's just the dog I've grown up with. Pretty much all that I can have. Honestly, Pomeranians and funny enough, poodles are probably the other 2 that I really like. Yeah. But retrievers are great. Labs are great. I mean, I love all dogs.
Yeah, I'm an all dogs kind of guy.
Yeah.
But I think I've had a puggle for a while. I love them. They're just so
yeah.
sweet and kind and
Some
just,
good ones.
They're very mushy. Like they just want to like snuggle up on you and stuff. So I'll say puggles. A lot of my friends have had retrievers. They're always great dogs. And then I just like Shibas. I think they just look awesome. And everyone I've met has been like nice and smart, even though people say that some
They're stubborn.
Well, no, they say that they're smart, but they're not great with kids.
Yeah.
And other dogs.
Maybe you train it. They can.
But I was like, yeah, but I feel like that's a training thing.
yeah, it is a training.
Maybe it's a
thing.
little bit harder to train them to do it, but those are probably my 3.
I love all dogs.
Me too.
What specifically was the question?
Dachshund. Oh, your favorite type of
Dachshunds,
zones.
I mean, I love my mutt, my Pomeranian mix, Leo, even though he's a little
Right? I'll send it in the chat.
he's a little dumb, but I love him anyway. So I have to put him up there. But otherwise, a dog that actually there's the owner of one of the owner of my girlfriend's job owns this dog who like he hangs out there. His name is Ace. He's a Portuguese water dog. Gorgeous breed. Almost
Portuguese water dog.
almost looks like a Labradoodle, but like not.
Okay.
But like dark, like he's like super dark, curly hair, but like huge and very smart, like beautiful. If you've never seen one, like look it up. They're beautiful animals. And then like maybe like a Samoyed.
Yeah. Italian Greyhounds are also
Greyhounds are
beautiful.
cool.
Is he named Ace after Batman's dog?
Maybe that actually might be it. Maybe that's a good question.
What about you?
I mean, I've always had pugs.
Yeah, pugs. Big
So
pug guy.
Pugs
Pug
definitely
guy.
would be there.
Yeah. Different than, yeah.
Always love labs. Always had good relations with, just people having labs. I
Black
think they're always
labs.
super friendly,
Yep.
chocolate labs, all that stuff.
Yeah.
I've always liked corgis. I don't know.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think they're super friendly.
Yeah, no,
they're
corgis.
cute and like they're small
I follow a bunch
legs.
of corgis on YouTube.
Yeah,
I
like,
just think they're funny. Like
they're just fun. I saw one at
funny.
work yesterday. Like they're just cool. I will say I am not a fan of German shepherds. I've had bad experiences before. I've been bitten before.
Oh.
They're police and military dogs at heart.
Yep.
And they're very territorial, and they should be for their owner, right? Like that's what they're designed to do. But when you work around them and stuff like that, not fun. as
Yeah,
a stranger.
I think
So,
for Germans, it's probably a very certain type of people that really love
Yeah.
them. Like,
Yeah.
if you want like a protective dog, that's
yeah,
the
I
breed,
think like
you know?
pit bulls and Rotties get the worst brunt of the reputation,
Right.
Uh-huh.
and I would argue that German shepherds are worse in terms of the damage they typically do.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And they don't get the news coverage of
That's why
that.
the German Shepherds are weaponized and like,
yeah,
as
I mean
police
they are
dogs.
incredible, like police and military dogs. They're great,
Yeah.
but if you're a stranger and you're working somebody's house,
Yeah.
yeah, it's not.
And
great.
if they don't train that dog the right way too.
yeah, and
it's-
they bite hard. I mean, it hurts.
Yeah.
You've
I
gotten
can
bitten on the
imagine.
job.
yeah,
Oh,
shit
boy.
hurts. So
And I also feel like pit bulls at heart are like friendly dogs.
Fireball.
yeah, a lot of them are just. It's what he looked up. A lot of them are very lovable. I understand
Yeah.
they get a bad rap because they do have big jaws and they're typically
Yeah.
fighting dogs.
Yep.
But like if you raise, I mean, they're just lovable.
They are
dogs,
lovable
man.
dogs.
I've known a couple people that have had pit bulls, and it's like they like rub their head on you almost like a cat, like just like to pet them. I'm like,
Yeah.
this is
A breed of dog my girlfriend absolutely loves, had for a very long time, that is now rubbing off on me are Chihuahuas as well.
They are
Yeah.
cute. No,
yeah.
dude,
And they get a bad rap.
they get a bad
for
rap.
just
It's
being
like
they're just
yappy,
loud.
annoying, but
Yeah.
yeah,
they
no,
have
but they are cute.
attitudes. They have attitudes.
They are very cute. Even the ones that are like ugly and like barky that I'll see on like YouTube shorts. They're
so
cute.
cute.
Yeah.
My
they are.
coworker has it. He has a it's like a Chihuahua mix. I don't know what
Yeah.
he doesn't know what the other part. But
My brother
dude,
has one,
the
too.
dude is adorable.
Yeah, they're very cute.
Dalmatians too are a dog that's not talked about. I'm just talking about work now. Dalmatians
Vicious.
very dangerous.
Yeah, I was surprised
very
to hear
aggressive.
that. I was
And it's like
surprised.
Disney.
Yeah, I love
101
that.
Dalmatians
Yeah.
made them think that they're adorable. They're really scary out there.
Yeah.
It's
They
crazy.
are. There was one on the job where they ran through the glass door in the front, smashed it to come out on the street. Like they're
Oh.
crazy.
That's sick.
So
They have the spots.
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Not a huge fan.
They got the spots.
Yeah,
That-
he's like,
that
yeah,
is
very
nuts,
vicious.
dude.
Do they have the spots though?
Natalie, thank you for the $2 donation. At least there were attempts at the time in Season 2 of Reigns to keep Aoi relevant, and even in Season 3, Aoi had an Ignis and a new deck. Yumu got possessed twice, and they have not been doing anything with her. It's really sad how Yumu is being treated. That's true. I mean, Aoi, the attempts were there. They just didn't give her wins that were meaningful, but
Yeah.
the development was at least attempted. Yeah, I mean, listen, Yumu, even when she wins, it's like Dormammu, like, possessed her, or she was like possessed or brainwashed, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's got to get back on track. I don't think it's gonna happen
ASAP.
this arc. I think it's gonna happen next arc. But when Go Rush is over, Yumu will be the most winning girl character in
But
all of
at
Yu-Gi-Oh.
this point, does that mean much?
I mean, it means something.
That does mean
It's
something.
got to mean something.
I guess a
It
little
can't
bit.
mean nothing.
But
It can't mean
she had.
You could say she's.
It couldn't all
It
be
went
for
to a
nothing.
different studio, and then
Right.
she had how many more episodes more than Roman did?
Well, then Roman, but not than the other girls. In
Yeah, but
Gallop.
we knew who wrote that. He was public about it. Like that's not a big shock.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, I still think you can take away they're a very strong duelist, but just not a great developed character. I think that's a very fair.
Yeah,
thing to
I
say.
think I guess I take the more grand view of like it's very nice that this new studio takes it seriously, and I
Yeah.
like that part.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But
absolutely.
in terms of like them going mano a mano with someone, I'm like,
She's a compiler. Pete.
yeah, I don't know about that.
She's just
Well, it's
around
funny
for
'cause
long enough to build up her stats.
It's funny because Roman has the same exact criticism as this. A lot of people will say that she had a lot of big wins, but didn't have any character development throughout the show. So Roman does
Which
have the
I
same
actually don't agree
criticism.
with.
I don't agree with it either, but I remember that one arc where Roman beat Roa, Yuga, and was beating all these like big characters. A lot of people felt like her character wasn't developing and she was just getting wins, you know? So, yeah, I mean, listen, it's interesting. It's an interesting debate for sure. Lorena, thank you for the $2 donation. And if I was Yumu and going downhill for an entire season and a half, that would be enough for my villain origin story. Maybe Bridge can do something with Yumu based on the treatment of girl characters during the era of Gallop. Just go evil. Yeah, as long as they go evil, not for brainwashing reasons, I'm fine with
No,
it.
yeah, it
Can't be. Has to be on their own accord. Has to be on
Enough's
their own
enough
accord.
with the brainwashing.
Yeah, has to be on their own accord. But
Yeah.
agreed,
Brain's
Lorena.
already clean, bro.
Yeah, it's already clean.
Fonda Fontaine,
washed.
thank you for the $2
There you
donation.
go, Dill.
Hi there,
Yeah.
Dylan. How are you doing? I'm doing
Wow.
well. Thank you, Fonda.
He's getting flustered.
That,
yeah.
No,
that
I'm
fluzzes
not.
you a little bit.
No, I'm not
Your
getting
face is
flustered.
so red.
You getting a little
No.
dry in the mouth a little
No,
bit.
I'm not getting flustered. I appreciate you coming
I'm not
in.
getting flustered.
Thank you, Fonda. Natalie, thank you for the $2 donation. Pete, if you don't consider Vulgarians people, does that mean you don't consider the Ignis as beings with free will and feelings?
No, they're computers. They're AI. They're not real.
So if
you
they
feel
die,
about
it's fine.
So how'd you feel about Earth?
I mean, is it sad? Can they have feelings? Absolutely. But like at the end of the day, they were dangerous for the planet. That's a whole different conversation. But they were dangerous.
Yeah, Pete's revolver's biggest.
Well, so is
supporter,
Yugioh.
But they all yes, but like I mean, I guess point proven, right? Because he's also a Vulgarian, but he at least had motivations about what he wanted to do, which was save his people. I mean, the
Well, didn't he
Ignis
want
were,
them to become real? Like, wasn't
Yeah,
that the whole
Yeah.
part?
exactly.
Yeah.
Like the Ignis, like especially led by Lightning, were
Bad.
horrible. Like they wanted to kill
Well,
everyone.
just two of them.
I mean, I
No.
at the end too.
Well,
there.
but
mean,
I
like,
because of what happened to the other Ignis,
right,
and he
but
wanted
was,
Playmaker
he was
to kill him.
exactly what Revolver feared, right? And then, you know,
Yeah, but
come on. You have to look at that and be like, he did turn at the end there. That's really 3 out of the 6.
Yeah.
Right? Like Flame is the outright hero, maybe Aqua in there, and then Earth, he didn't really care. Like he was this guy, whatever.
Well,
I
Earth,
love
mean,
Aqua. That's
yeah,
what I
but
care
Earth,
about.
Earth would have followed Aqua. I don't think Earth was an issue.
No, he was just kind of neutral, he felt.
Yeah.
You know, that's he's what Wendy pretended he was in the beginning, and then he was like, psych.
Yeah.
But no, they were bad, and they're not real either.
So Natalie, they are not real people.
They're
F 'em.
not.
There you go.
No,
I didn't say that. But I think we have to
F
take
'em.
into context of them dying as opposed to anyone else.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh
So-
my god.
Yusaku, he dies by that tank in the alt ending.
Yeah,
a lot more sad.
And a lot of people said that they should have went with that end. That was the original ending.
I don't think anyone said they should.
Oh no, there's a lot of people. You remember him? He wanted that ending.
You want that ending.
There's a lot. There are people.
That's
that wanted
the
that
evidence
ending.
we're going to use.
No,
here.
I'm just saying
Okay.
there are people. You go to Reddit.
I'm
That felt,
talking the vast majority of people.
Yeah.
And Reddit, not the metric to gauge at all. You told me in the past you purposely don't look up your own name or anything on
don't.
Reddit
I don't.
for this reason.
I don't look up my
Well,
name.
for the reason because they really bash.
Yeah. Well, they might. I don't know. I haven't looked up my name in 7 years. It could be
It's not,
praise.
it's not worth it.
Yeah, it's just not worth it.
You guys don't have to tell us.
Revolver
by the way.
was right.
Nobody needs.
Let's call it what it was. Revolver was right.
Then we got some supers.
Yeah,
we
yeah,
do,
yeah.
Yeah,
You're a super guy.
I got the plan, man.
I got the plan, man.
Oh.
So we got Cal Breezy's been a member at Slifer Red for
Oh.
49 months.
Boo.
Thank you, Cal. Thank you,
Don't
my
worry,
man.
you're about to start cheering, Pete.
Thank you, man.
The power of the space poems. Praise Rovian.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm talking about. I've
Yeah.
always liked this guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was your message.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
How
you, Cal.
can you
You're
not
alone
like
on this
her
one
after
today.
this episode?
No, I think she's fine.
You didn't feel bad for her when she grew up different. People could relate to that, and so then she was
Yeah.
all alone. No one wanted to be friends with her.
And then
Like you didn't feel for her.
and then the idea of like meeting your don't meet your heroes because she meets her hero and then goes crazy.
No, well, I think she took it.
I mean,
She
no,
took it
it's
too
fine.
seriously. That was
She
the
did.
issue.
She did. She did.
No, I do. I don't mind Rovian. Yeah, she's fine.
That's like.
No.
If that was Yumu or somebody or Go Ayuna, you would have been over the moon,
not
standing
wrong.
up with the mic, going, "This is the greatest development I've ever seen of a female character in Yugioh." It happens with Roby, and you go, "Yeah, it's okay. It's all right."
No, it was. I've said many times it was a very good episode
Oh yeah,
for
I
her.
remember. Oh,
It was a very good
I
episode.
recall the space time. The time space episode, like Rovian, it's like the power of love, and the whole spiel you went on about, and like the theme of this episode is really what carried it. And it's
Yeah,
like,
and
What
so
are you?
her
What are you
having-
talking
yeah,
about?
for Yuna, the Yuna episode and the
You were
time-
fawning
Yeah.
over the writing of that.
Yeah.
Oh, incredible!
I thought it was very
development.
good.
Oh my God, what it did for a character. And
and
I'll
as
say it
someone
a
I've
lot.
experienced,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. I'll say it a lot, Chad. I mean, I'm a guy. I didn't like her early on at all. I thought she was annoying. But this has been the greatest arc I've seen of a character in Yugioh. Now Rovian has all these things where people can connect with, and you're like, it's okay.
I didn't say that. I said it was very
Oh,
good.
the episode was, I'll keep praising the other characters that's been shown one time because I think she's hot.
She was
but
very
like
good.
Rovian doesn't matter.
Well, without her, that episode doesn't get as good of carry as. I mean, you needed her.
Okay,
in that
but
episode.
the Go Ayuna episode doesn't hit if Rovian's not on the other
I
side.
agree,
of it.
I agree.
It's the
Yeah,
same
if-
thing.
I agree. I
if
agree. Well, you had
Yuga-
multiple episodes, but yeah.
If Yuga doesn't exist,
See,
if
there-
Yuga doesn't
No.
exist,
I'm.
if Yuga doesn't exist, Yuna's nothing.
Well, no, I don't know if that's true. But
I mean,
That's
one
what
could
I'm
argue
saying,
that.
But that's also a crazy argument. You need other characters. You can't just solely
That's
get
what I
back
just
to her.
said.
Exactly. No,
That's
no,
what
but,
I just
but you're
said.
criticizing me for praising Prasaki. I think she was a great character.
I'm
in the episode.
criticizing that you purposely will not give Rovian her day in the sun.
I did.
But
I
you-
did.
Come on. Chat, the enthusiasm was clear. It was so clear.
I said she's.
Dylan.
I
I'm going to
said
make
it was
a side-by-side of when you talked about that to that comment you made about Rovian. And it's going to be night and day, dude.
I said, dude,
Come on.
I said
Please
she
do
was. It
that.
was a very good episode for her. I said her character's good.
Dylan.
You said she was fine.
She's fine. I mean,
Yeah, you
fine and
said-
good are the same. They're
No.
basically the same thing.
Really?
Okay, you go upstairs. You
go
go
ask
upstairs,
Ivory how
and
she's
Ivory
doing.
goes, "How do I look today?" And you say, "You look good, babe," or you look fine. You let me know how that goes.
Tone. Okay, you look fine. It's gonna go well. It's gonna go well.
All right.
Tone
goddamn.
matters.
Okay.
Tone
And
is
the
very
tone you
important.
just had
the
was,
tone
ah,
was
it's
she's
fine.
all right.
It's fine,
It's
man.
fine.
That's what I said. I was
crazy.
blown away. I
Crazy.
was blown away.
He changed it.
Listen,
It's fine.
Listen, I love you
man.
as a friend, man. I really do.
I love you too,
But
man.
like you,
I
But as a
appre-
person-
you just you just won't give Rovian her day.
No. By the way, you can go back on that.
You didn't relate to her at all. I was so sad.
It was a
and
little
that didn't
sad.
like all the time you guys have kind of, especially you and
Yeah.
Dredge as well. Dredge is watching. You've shit on the space poems.
Yep.
There wasn't a moment where even if you still don't like them, you understand why she does this.
Yeah.
What the connection was like.
It-
none of that hit for you.
No, I get it. It's childhood trauma, and that does make it a lot.
don't know if it was
makes a lot more
childhood
sense.
trauma.
Could I? Actually, you brought up a good point that I'd like to interject that we didn't really talk about today.
Yeah, of course.
Regarding the space poems, actually, I've gotten the sense in the past couple episodes how foreboding her space poems have been lately, and feel like foreshadowing more so than the other. I feel like in the past, you could make the argument that she's not really saying anything; it's just words. But sometimes, the past couple episodes, I'm like, this is.
Yeah.
These seem like doomsday prophecies.
Impending doom.
Yeah.
And I'm like, she's been more coherent than usual.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, definitely.
I think
agree.
this episode also shows that this is not the way she speaks. She can speak
Thank
normally.
you
She
for
does that
the
'cause that's
dono.
her
She's an
comfort
artist,
zone.
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's her connection to something that she believes will be the future of what she loves, but she
Yeah.
doesn't have to do it.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think there's something meaningful in
there
that.
is. No,
I really do.
she's good.
And she's kind of been manipulated in some ways by an alien since she's been little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, that kind of sucks too.
Yeah, her character has definitely improved a lot. Good episode with Yuna and the duel. Good episode where they were able to convey the message to Yugioh about what the numbers meant. And this was a good episode for her as well. So yeah, her character is good.
By the end of the show, you're going to come around to like her. It's gonna happen.
I don't dislike her. I'll
But
tell
you're
you
gonna
that.
come around to like her.
It's
gonna happen.
I feel more. I definitely feel a lot more positively about her
We're
now.
on the upswing.
Yes, I'll tell you this. She's a top 5 girl in the show for me now, and that
For you, that's a lot.
yeah, she might even be top 4. She
Okay.
might even be top 3.
Is she top 3?
She might be.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's huge. I wouldn't have even had her in my top 8.
No,
a
I
couple
mean
of
that's
weeks ago.
progress. That's
Yeah.
what I like to say.
So listen. If a
Now,
character
Dredge
does well,
out there, I don't know where you put.
No,
I-
he actually said the space poem's trash. Rovian is good. She's grown a lot. on
Okay,
her.
there he goes.
yeah,
He must be drinking tonight.
I would be too, Dredge. I would be too.
I should have been.
Oh man,
Yeah, I
crazy
had a beer
stuff.
already.
Crazy stuff.
Crazy stuff. All right. Thanks, Cal, for that wonderful
Yeah,
message.
it really
Right,
sent us down.
Right, you started that.
All right, read the
I
next
knew
one.
that was when I put it down. I knew it was
Yeah, you
gonna
know,
cause
you know
problems.
it's gonna happen.
I just got to defend her. Okay.
No, I appreciate it. I defend.
I'm doing it in the most respectful way I can think.
That was very respectful. Well, I defend Go Yuna, but I know you like
I
Yuna.
love Go
Yeah.
Ayuna.
Yeah.
I was the first
No.
one when you guys
You were.
said she was annoying. I was like, I love this character.
yeah.
And her progression, I think her character arc has been the best in the show.
I agree.
From where she was
Yeah.
Where she's
to
at.
where she's
I
now.
mean, I'll say this. I think you can make the argument she's the best girl in all of Yu-Gi-Oh. I've said it.
I mean,
You can make the argument.
I'm just such a big Aki fan, man. So
No,
that's
she
a
was
really
great.
hard bridge for me to cross.
She was great.
I like the argument,
Aki's top 3 for
I-
sure.
I do like that.
Yeah.
And she might be number 1 for me too. I'm
How
just
about
saying you
how
can,
about this?
you can make
we'll-
the
we'll
argument.
Pause the argument until the episode's over. I mean, until the
Yeah,
show's
I
over.
think that's fair.
Because I think I want a
She-
full
she-
assessment.
I agreed. Agreed.
Because endings do matter, right? She gets
100%.
a terrible ending.
Yep.
I'm like, F this character.
Where she's back to how she was in Arc 2.
right.
Yeah,
Then
I
you're
agree.
like, oh, well, they ruined that.
Yeah, I agree. Very fair.
Where she's just a cheerleader.
Oh, I-
myself a cheerleader.
The old songs were calling up.
Yeah.
Here.
Yep. Crystal Colden has been a member at Rye Yellow for 18 months.
Thank you.
Thank you, Crystal. 1.5 years. Worth it, as this place gives me more sketch ideas to
Love
use.
to hear that.
I'm glad. At least we do
Inspiration.
something for somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously, Crystal. Thank you. Thanks for being such a great supporter of the channel and of the show. Hopefully you continue to sketch. Thank you so much,
yes,
Crystal.
yes.
Sure.
Ramen Fist has been a member at Rye Yellow for 16 months.
Wow.
Thank you,
you.
Ramen Fist.
And Ramen Fist comes with a question.
yes.
Orange juice, apple juice, or cranberry juice?
Oh,
Dylan, we'll start with you.
That's a good question.
Orange, apple, cranberry in that order.
Oh, I didn't know. Okay.
Orange, apple, cranberry in that order.
Cranberry, apple, orange in that order.
This is tough for me because I would put orange as number 1, but stomach-wise, I can't drink it.
I love
Oh,
It
okay.
doesn't mesh with me.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
So if I went in terms of my preference, it'd be orange, apple, cranberry.
Yeah.
But in terms of what I could actually drink,
Cranberry.
I'd probably
apple,
go
orange.
cramble apple orange. I really do. I have grown in my older years
My old
to
age.
like cranberry juice.
It's fair.
It's good for
I've
you.
always
And
been a
it is
cran
good for
guy.
you.
I have never drank it. I refuse.
I think it for
Why?
you. It's very tart.
I used
So,
to drink it
I don't
with
know if you would
vodka.
like
I
it.
wouldn't like it.
Yeah.
I know I wouldn't.
But it is very tart.
You might change your mind if you have a little vodka.
With a little vodka, yeah.
Imagine if like that's the entrance to like you going down a path. It's cranberry juice.
He's like, yeah, I don't really like drinking, and then we give him a vodka cranberry, and that's it.
And you're like, this is great, and that's it.
Guys, I
That'd be-
love this
We need
cranberry
more-
juice.
We need more.
Every
of
time
that.
you come on the podcast, you just buzz.
Oh my god, dude.
It's a cup of vodka crayons in your hand.
That'd be crazy.
And I would blame Calibra.
Yeah, you gotta.
Wait. Not the guy who brings his beer up every week.
Every
it's
week.
my fault.
Well, he's a recognized. He's in the
Yeah,
program.
the people
Got
can't.
you.
We can't.
All right, then you know what? It's my fault. I apologize. Thank you, Ramen.
Thank you, Ramen.
We got $2 from Edison Kelly.
Thank you, Edison.
Thank you.
And Edison said, "Why is the Rush Duel robot in Relic if it's from the future?"
That is a
Yeah,
good
I mean,
question.
It's small as hell.
Yeah, I mean, we've touched on that. There's definitely going to be something with the relic. We don't. It's a great question, Edison. We don't have the answer to it, unfortunately. But we're gonna. I think we might get the answer this arc. The relic, it being in the relic, is not incredibly shocking to me. And the reason for that is the relic has acted as this like time capsule device that can take things from one like point in time and spit it out into our current point in time. We saw that in episode, I think it was 62 with the cats and going back into Seven's world. So we've seen that with the relic. Why is it here now? What's the significance? The significance very well could be the secret to saving the Vulgarians.
That's
I know one
that's
thing
my
for
theory.
sure.
What's that?
I know if they sold that miniaturized version as a statue, I know you're buying.
Oh, I'm buying it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, of course. So
Sure, that'd
get
be
on
good.
that.
That'd be a good.
Yeah, you got one
good
sale for
brand
sure.
on
That'd be
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make some pull, man, with the people you know.
I'll reach out.
Yeah.
And I'm still living on the theory that is going to power something to keep the Vulgarians alive.
It could.
I can see it.
I
Like a
can
power
see it.
source.
I can see
Yeah.
it.
Oh, I like
Because
that.
they said it's full of data,
full of data.
and maybe you just need some energy to pump that thing
We
up.
need the right kind of computer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see it.
One that Yuga can build.
Exactly.
Ah.
Already has. You
Guy's
put-
always cooking, dude.
He's a
you put-
cooker.
You put Kaizo in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Kaizo's never Kaizo. He's always transformed into something.
Yeah.
Well, that's because dude, it's got to be a form of torture. Like Yuga's like, hey,
Yeah.
No permission. Just does it.
it's like, hey, you're a helmet now.
The salary man.
Works out.
Yeah,
Hey, the salary man.
I
was a good guy.
want that return.
we're waiting for it. It's
the
coming.
salary man.
I'd lose my.
You have to wear a suit, right? If he comes back on
Yeah.
the podcast.
If he comes back, I'll wear
Yeah.
a suit. Yeah. I might even buy a new one if he comes back.
Wow.
I mean, you got the money. So you
Not
might as well.
necessarily, but I mean, I got to do what I got to
Hold
do.
on. Well, this unfortunately goes back to our. Have you been putting into your Roth?
Into my Roth IRA.
Yeah.
I've only maxed it out for about 6 years.
Look what I did to him.
How old are you again?
I am 13.
Going on 30.
Times 3 plus 1. Nope.
Okay.
Times 2 plus 4.
Okay.
Got it. You're not 37.
That's 30. It would have been 39.
I used to
Or it would have been 40. I said times 3 plus
I'm
1.
very worried about this guy.
You should be.
Yeah.
You know who I'm more worried about?
Who?
This guy.
I said earlier that. Wait, was that on? No, it was not on the podcast.
What'd you say?
Because we were talking about, and I said, "Yeah, Dill's got one foot in the grave," and then I said, "I've got two."
That is a Nixie classic right there. I love it.
Jesus Christ.
Now, after that box I saw on the couch, I think I might be worried about you, bro.
I gotta fill up the cabinet.
I mean,
it's a lot.
it's bad, man.
Yeah.
You need help.
All right. We got $6.66 from that
The
man.
devil
666.
Satan donation. Thank you, that man. Appreciate you, dude. Thank
You may have delayed my plans after the Nuzlocke bet, Dylan, but that gives me more time on script writing for the future. Prepare yourself.
That's a threat.
What was his plan?
I don't know what that is. All I know is that man bet a few months ago if I complete my next Nuzlocke and beat Volo, and without dying on the Nuzlocke, he would gift me 100 subs on Twitch.
Oh my God.
So I beat Volo and I started the Nuzlocke, and somehow, some way, we actually got to the Elite Four. We got to the 4th member of the Elite Four. We did this on the 24-hour stream.
You won
And,
it.
Yeah, the strongest Pokemon in that gym of the last Elite Four member was a Dialga. That was, of course, their
and
strongest.
3 straight Dragon
Three
Rushes.
straight Dragon Rush missed, and that's the only reason I lived and killed it.
Right.
And so I miraculously beat him. We faced Cynthia. I had 1 Pokemon left. We beat Cynthia. Entered that with 4, and then we just whittled each other
yeah,
away.
of course, yeah.
But I survived with 1. But going into Cynthia, that man, because I guess the bet was just to beat the Elite Four, gifted 100 subs. So, yeah. Yeah, I know. This was like 2 weeks ago.
I forgot that was the stipulation because I was like, why is he doing this?
Yeah. So that man, anher shout out to him.
And then you couldn't focus in Cynthia.
I know.
And you
Hey,
were
we
like,
got a new subscriber
that was
here.
you had to shut that off, dude.
100 times. Yeah, we got a new subscriber here.
You gotta mute it. At that point, you gotta mute it.
I was losing it, and I was
And
just
I'm
watching.
on a call with Drudge, so imagine, yeah, we got a new Dylan. You know,
The combination.
Was he guiding you
crazy.
through it?
He was helping me, yeah.
Me and Cal are up
helping me.
watching it. We have the morning shift, and we're still just.
Yep.
I
Yep.
went to sleep with that thing just going off.
You gotta subscribe it.
That being said, I don't actually know what that man's plan is with script writing. That is a little concerning.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I don't know.
That
I
man-
don't know if I like that.
love you, appreciate you. That man's always in my Twitch streams, always rooting for me to die, which is all right.
You need some of those.
Yeah.
X-Layer's there too.
Alex.
Every time I-
actually, there's more people that root.
Root against you than for you, for sure.
Every time I was in Last of Us or something, X-Layer come in, root against me to just die.
And then he'd leave.
Then he just leave.
Yeah,
And I'm like, thank you, X-Layer, so much for stopping by.
that's what he does, man.
That's what he does.
He's good at that.
Yeah, Dill, I'll have to.
Thank you, that man. I appreciate
We'll
you.
have to look into the multiple gifted thing, the donation.
Yeah, we'll look
thing
into
in
it.
Streamlabs, we'll do that.
We'll cook.
That way it doesn't yell 100 times.
Yeah, we.
Although it's worth it, because then it like also pisses him off at the same time.
I-
So it's like a big
I just
win.
think it was a perfect storm with you being on the VC with Dre.
Oh, yeah.
It was just
Yeah.
perfect.
100%.
Me making mistakes, Judge yelling at me because of the mistakes.
And like, I can't focus.
yeah.
Um,
Don't tell me you attacked.
thank you, that man.
Thank you so much, man.
Philip Rosewood has been a member at Cypher Red for 31 months.
Bill up. Thank you, dude.
Philip said, "Hi guys, good episode. I'm writing a book on Wattpad. Hyped.
Nice, Philip. Good luck with the
Good
book.
luck in the book.
Yeah, good luck.
I
with
don't
the
know
book.
if you're still doing those stories. I haven't heard any updates, but hopefully things are going well with you, man. Thank you so much for the super, dude.
Maybe turn the stories into the book.
Or if you come in a chat. Yeah, right.
True.
Those were pretty steamy, I'll tell
True.
you.
Hey,
Steamy
those type
book.
of
50
novels
Shades
sell.
of Grey, of
They
course.
sell.
Yeah. Philip, thank you, my man. Appreciate you. Great to see you.
We got $5 Australian from Electra Kevin.
Thank you, Kevin.
And Kevin said, episode 94 was awesome.
Yep.
Pay respect to the queen. Rovian is best Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush girl. Hashtag Rovian Empire.
That's what I'm talking about. Okay? That is what I'm talking about. That's the kind of energy I need every week. Right into my veins. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kevin. I appreciate it.
Space poems are elite, man. Gotta learn.
She's a poet. She just don't show it.
It is funny that I think you could definitely make the case that Yuna and Rovian are top two. And it's funny because when they debuted in the
They're
second
top
arc,
two.
I would have never
Yeah.
thought that.
Well,
Never thought.
Go Hyuna's top 2, but she's not 2.
Well, I agree with that. But I'm saying there are probably a good amount of people that agree with Kevin that Rovian's probably number
I'm
one.
just what I'm looking
That's
forward
true.
to is how Yuga's just gonna just drop her when he goes back
Yeah.
because you know it's coming.
Maybe, I don't know.
You know it's coming. It would mess up the timeline.
Baby, come back. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I don't
Yeah.
like that. I don't like that face at all.
All right, let's,
We're going to keep the ball rolling
let's
here.
keep it rolling.
We got $5 from Ice Aiden.
Ice Aiden.
Bum, 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 bada, bum, bum.
Pressure. Thank you for your time.
Every time.
Thank you, man.
Hello, Yugi Bros. We are finally back. So far, this was the best episode of the new arc. The other ones were not that great.
Wow.
That's bold.
Yeah. I mean, I don't agree with it. I like 93 the most. I thought 93 and 94 were both very good.
Yeah.
92 was okay, but hilarious.
Yep.
And 91 was an
You
interesting.
agree with this
Okay.
guy?
Yeah, but hey, fair opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So at least
Very
it's always
fair.
good to like the most recent episode, though. You know,
Yeah.
so that's good.
Keeps you hyped.
Yeah, thank you, Aiden. Appreciate you, man.
Thank you, Ice Aiden. We
Bum-
got $5 from Philip Rosewood.
Fill up.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, my man.
Philip said, my girl Rovian out here standing on business. I love her, and it's funny how every other female character is getting something except for Yumu, the main, shaking my head.
Ain't that the truth?
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Manya, Sokka next week. I mean, it's
Like I said
crazy.
before, who?
You a who?
No, Yumu
It's
who?
they made in Home Improvement. Tim Allen. Look at that.
Huh?
Yeah, Philip, I agree. We've talked about it at length already with you.
I might
and
buy a
Mo.
hat.
Yeah.
I might buy a hat exactly like Rovian's just to wear on the podcast.
Honestly, will you?
I mean, I'll talk to some people.
Oh,
See,
we'll let
see if
him
we
cook.
get an
We'll
exact
let him
copy.
cook. Okay.
Good episode for Rovian and Prasaki really took the stole the
The
show.
Rovian bandits are out in full force.
Bro,
you know?
let me tell you, they wouldn't even have to ask me. I sign up immediately.
Oh, yeah. You're on the volunteer sheet.
Helping out.
Oh, yeah. We got $9.99 from Space Cowgirl,
Thank you.
1856.
Space Cow. Thank
And
you.
she said
for
all
the
about that
dono.
space riz.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
got space riz, this guy.
Yeah.
Yuga's got space riz.
Yuga's got, he's got. I guess he does have space.
He's
riz.
got the riz.
He hasn't tried, but
He doesn't need to. That's the best part of it.
He's
Yeah.
got the
Doesn't need to try.
casual cool guy riz.
yeah.
He knows.
He knows.
He can do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
He's just chilling.
Yeah,
He go between timelines. Doesn't matter.
He's a Riz master.
He's just chilling.
Yeah.
He's all about just making his inventions.
He's risen.
That's what he's doing.
He's risen. Yeah.
So he's just risen ladies up in all different timelines.
I mean, he kind of has.
He's risen
he
on
kind of
him.
has a Sokka there too. I mean, a little bit.
yeah. Oh
Like,
yeah.
She's like.
Oh,
she's looking.
yeah.
She's thinking.
She had a little tingle,
crush.
tingle
Little
in her
crush.
stomach. Yeah.
Yeah, a little crush.
Yeah.
hair twirl in there.
Yeah.
in the
She had a little
conversation.
butterflies.
Yeah. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
100%.
It's crazy, man.
Thank you, Crystal.
That guy is just. Never mind.
He's the
Go
goat.
ahead. No,
Say
go
it.
ahead.
I was gonna say that guy is just stealing hearts of the entire
Crazy.
Go Rush
I
girl
mean,
cast. I was
crazy.
gonna say it in a lot more.
No,
Yeah.
in a graphic way, which
He's
I'm
a-
glad he
yeah,
didn't.
yeah. Nah,
He's a
couldn't.
heartthrob. That's just what he is.
He is.
Come
He's a
on.
good dude.
The guy, like, he's smart. He's friendly. Like, he's got all the qualities.
Yeah.
He's a risologist.
Well, you know what they
I like
say?
that.
They say when you're not good at like in one of your senses, your other senses are like more enhanced. I thought the fire alarm. So like, right, he's good in everything else, and his dueling kind of lacks a little bit, but that makes sense just given.
Did we have to? even
No,
bring
I
that
don't.
up?
no.
I think it would have been more appropriate to say he's a little bit of an airhead in the sense.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
He kind of
Wee.
just disappears.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, he doesn't really take into account sometimes the full gravity of situations.
Yeah, like all the Vulgarians about to die.
Right.
That's
I
fair.
mean, you know,
He'll figure it
Yeah,
out.
it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. Well, to him, they're just his creations. It doesn't matter. Anyway.
Exactly. You're
Thank,
right.
thank
There
you
go.
so much.
Those are his roads.
Thank you.
We got 5 more Australian dollars from Electra Kevin.
Thank you, Kevin.
I don't know how people used to slander Yuhi, while at the same time we're overpraising Yumu, when in my opinion she hasn't been amazing since the second arc.
Well, that is
that.
what
I
you
said
said.
that.
Yeah, that's
I
what you
said that.
said. Yeah.
It's been a long time.
I just think early on she was given a lot of good material to chew on,
Yep.
and Yuhi didn't really do anything. And
Yuhi
like
was
they
on the
always
sidelines.
portrayed him as this comedic kind of dumb character.
Yep.
And then, you know, we take a 2-year break in Showtime. This man out here changes his life.
Yep.
Totally
Yeah.
different guy.
Yeah.
It's funny because it's almost Aura sent in a message during the watch along, and I've seen people have this comment on my YouTube videos as
They're
well.
not wrong.
Where they're annoyed because the pendulum's swinging too much the other way.
Yeah.
Now where it's like he's doing, even with Yugioh,
Yeah.
he's doing everything when it comes
Yep.
to the trio problem
We
solving.
talk about the Udi's angle of it too.
Yeah, to the point where now like people are starting to get annoyed because he's doing too much.
It's almost like
so you got to have that proper
they
balance.
like listen to us more like the Japan fans, but I guess a little bit of us of like, hey, we want to see Yui do more, maybe Yumu a little less, and they're like, overcorrection. Let's just do.
Yep.
Well, we'll do. Of course, we'll do that.
But even Yugioh, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Yugioh had that great battle with Kwai Duel, but you take that away, his season's been very
I
disappointing.
mean, he's been,
Yeah.
completely.
Even
really
this-
since Yugioh, yeah.
even this arc, he's not really doing
No,
anything.
I mean, there's a lot of times he is chilling on the sidelines, just making
Yeah.
comments.
yeah,
It's a
which
season
I don't
of-
mind
the
because you
season of
bolster your
Yumu.
sideshow, your side characters. But I would just like that trio
Yeah.
mojo to be a little more split duty wise. Yeah. But thank you, Kevin. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Kev. We got $5 from Philip Rosewood.
Thank you,
Thank
Philip.
Philip said, you know what about Yumu? What if they make her one of the main villains for opening 3? That's why she isn't on the poster.
We've talked about that.
Would be nice for her character.
Well, we will be doing an opening and ending, opening 3, ending 4 reaction when those drop. We'll be doing an in-depth breakdown for sure. So that is going to be very exciting for those wondering when that's going to happen. Probably first week of April. So we're like 2 months and a week away from that.
Yeah, I'm not rushing it.
Yeah. So if you enjoy Soul Galaxy, which to me it's my least favorite musically of every Sevens and Go Rush opening and ending all together.
Yeah, it's up there.
Yeah, it's
It
for
might be my least.
for me, it is my least favorite. So I won't really miss it. Visuals are okay, but nothing too crazy.
It's time to change it up.
Yes. Well, and I think it was Elaine who brought up the point. We rib on Vrains for never having lightning in any of their openings, which is crazy. Go Rush might never have Kwai Duel in an opening.
It's just the way it worked out.
I know, but
Yeah.
even to just have a scene of him,
Yeah.
I don't know. But opening 3 will, I think, tell us a lot about Yumu. If opening 3 happens and Yumu has like one shot and she's barely in it, then I'm gonna be like, oh my god, it's over.
No, see, then I switch to, hey, this villain talk might be real.
Okay,
Like then
I'm
this
just
might
gonna
be a
think
little
they're just
real.
writing her out.
Yeah. Unless there's real life news that something happened to her voice actress,
She was
which I
at
don't.
Jump
She was
Fest, though.
at Jump Fest.
Nah, yeah, so I
to
don't
me,
think so.
I would take that as, ooh, she going bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hope we see it because I think it's
That'd
what
be
her
cool.
character needs. I really do.
We got another $5 from Philip Rosewood and then another $10 from Philip
Jesus
Rosewood.
Christ! Thank you so much, Philip.
So I'm just gonna read those back to back.
Yeah, thank you, Philip.
Philip said, man, I can't tell y'all how many fictional characters I'd be waiting on to die in anime because I'd just be so ready for them to go. I'd be dancing all over the place.
Well, a lot of villains.
So
There was a character. I almost said his name. Thank God I didn't. There was a character in the show we've been watching. I don't want to give spoilers away.
I
was
can't
very
believe-
happy when they went.
I mean, I was pumped watching that character just perform on screen. Voice acting, top tier.
Yeah. Happy they were.
I love villains, so I can't
Yeah.
really say the same.
Yeah.
They
Villains
show
can
up
be
and I'm like, I'm getting a face on my, we're about to kill people.
very captivating
Yeah.
too. And Philip also said, I'm working on chapter 1 of my story now. It's called Create-Us or Create-US. It's capitalized.
Okay,
so
yeah.
I don't know which one. It's like Pokemon or Digimon, but with imaginary friends that fight and can die. I even based the 2 main pro tags off me and my older brother.
That is really cool. That sounds really cool. Well, if you'd like me to read a chapter, I'd be more than happy to, Philip. Good
Did
luck.
you finish the other story?
Yeah, maybe he just changed it and is now
Coulda.
writing this one. But good luck with that story, man. I've read your work before. I know you can do really cool stuff and great things. So we're all supporting you here, Philip. Thank you so much, man.
We got $5 Australian from Electra Kevin.
Thank you, Kevin.
Yo, Dill, what you got for the next light attribute pack? I'm thinking Sartorius, Dumon, and hopefully Luna for that ancient fairy dragon upgrade.
So, Kevin, thank you so much. Sadly, well, good and bad news. The bad news is I cannot reveal that here because the good news is that will be a full video out in a couple of days. I've actually recorded audio of that. I recorded audio last night after the Fortnite stream, so just got to edit it. That video should be out over the weekend. I'm giving 5 characters that I think could get support in that set. Of course,
Hype.
light
Let's go.
attribute. But that is a set that new archetypes don't come. So Armado's Legios Lightning's deck can't be in it.
At this point, I've given up.
Well, no, Animation Chronicle, I think this year, I think there's a good chance.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, that comes out, I'm buying that deck.
I think there's a good chance.
You get me in, I'll give you the money.
Yeah, I'll do it. I think there's a good
that
chance.
happens.
But anyway, that will be out. That video should be out Friday or Saturday, Kevin. So keep an eye out that for the weekend. Thank you so much for the super chat and for asking. And there definitely are maybe 1 or 2 overlays with the 3 characters you picked. I will say I did not pick all 3 characters that you just picked there, but there might be 1 or 2.
Also, just if I could go for a second, Cal. Edison, I do see your. We did read your super chat, I believe, earlier, so you can jump back in the video. We
Yes.
did do that.
Yes.
So we did get it.
About the dual robot.
Yeah.
Yep, we
Yep.
got
that one.
Yep.
We got $7 more from Philip Rosewood.
Jesus, Philip, thank you so much.
And Philip said, Yumu ends up being the big bad silhouette character in the back because she's tired of not being used in the show, so she becomes a supervillain. That would be hot. And then he said, the largest person in the back of the new poster.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, Nick T, I'm going to blow this poster up.
Blow it up.
You talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, obviously in the full poster, it's hard, but like to see it without zooming in and in and in. But honestly, like the high res version of that poster, you can really get some clarity. And the more I look at it, I'm like, yo, that's Yumu. That's Yumu evil. I'm fully a proponent of that theory, so I'm with you. Was it Philip that said that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you, man.
Dill's blowing
I'm
it up
excited
on
to
the
see it.
screen.
Yeah, I don't know if this one has
my
the
God.
clarity. It's there.
It's pretty clear, this one.
Yeah.
The full res image.
Like, look at that, dude.
It looks
The
like it
hair.
could be glass
It's got her
face.
bangs.
But are we tricking ourselves into just seeing her there?
Possibly.
Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe. But I
it
don't
could
know.
be. No, it could. And also, doesn't this look kind of like a princess crown?
It is.
Exactly. The color, that like shade of, I don't know. It just it rings Yumu
Trouble.
for me. But also
Oh, that would be so cool.
something that she's not on the poster otherwise.
Yeah.
Suspicious to me.
Well, that's the argument, right? The argument is if she's not there, they just left her off the poster?
no, they wouldn't have done that.
Yeah, I don't think they
Well,
would.
I have
unless they
I have
just
a
don't
hard
plan
time
on using it,
believing. Yeah, I have a hard time believing that. Dude, I love the poster. It's a great poster. Really good.
Great.
Transamu Rhinax, like dogs just being out. His foot is just
I knew
like-
you were gonna mention
Yeah.
it.
His
Especially
dong?
his
Dogs.
dogs.
Oh,
his feet.
dogs.
Like
Dog.
was it, like and especially the way you were cropping it and like you were zooming in and cropping it, like his foot is just like right in the middle of the screen.
Yeah.
A lot of people talked about that.
Yeah, I don't know, Philip. I can totally see that. And actually, when we were virtual and remote for a talk in Yu-Gi-Oh! Crazy 8's like in December,
Yeah.
I think that was when you had brought that up. the idea that
It
that
was,
big character
'cause
could
I
be
took a
Yumu.
screenshot and zoomed
We
in,
were
yeah.
remote, I remember.
I
so,
think so, yeah.
Phil, we've actually talked about that at length as well. So yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I'm with you on it.
Yeah,
just so you know.
yeah. I hope.
I think it's probably my biggest crack theory that I've had on this show thus far, and I'm sticking with it.
Yeah, I like it. I would not mind if you're right on that.
Thank
I
you.
really
Let Nick
wouldn't.
T cook.
Let me
Yeah.
cook just a little bit.
A little bit.
We got $10 from Colin Cleaves.
Thank you, Colin.
And Colin said, I have a theory. Yugioh pulls a Loki and in some way through the robot and maybe the hyperspace becomes the new creator of Vulgarians and rebuilds and brings everyone back.
It's not a bad crack theory.
It's
When you
not.
get into like time
can do
crap
anything.
like
You can
that,
go
I
weird.
can't even process that,
Yeah.
dude. Yeah,
I could see it.
I could see it.
I could see it.
Oh.
I could see it being a few characters.
Yeah, I just.
What do you mean by a few characters?
There's could be Yugioh, could be
Oh,
I
a
mean,
few characters could play that part, you mean?
yeah,
gotcha,
being the
gotcha.
one to become the new creator.
That'd be Yugioh.
The reason
Oh, one
any
and
of
the
that
same.
is
Exactly.
possible again is all because of the relic. The relic gives them the power and the
Yeah.
ability to do that, and that's why the relic is such a fascinating plot point in this show. It really is.
100%. We got 10 more Australian dollars from Electra Kevin.
Thank you, Kevin.
Kevin said, there's a theme in GR where every time a character plays for another, like how London and Epoch helped Bocchi and Luke duel, they always lose. Same also happened with Yuhi versus Tremolo and Tremolo versus Phaser.
Yeah, that's actually a really interesting trend there, Kevin. Didn't even notice that myself. I will say Bocchi had that duel won, and I love that they actually showed us
Yeah,
that Bocchi would have
literally
won if he
said.
just activated the card. Because sometimes they leave it ambiguous. Like, a lot of people
You may
forget
never
this.
know.
Blood Shepherd,
Shepherd.
Soul Burner, that one's completely ambiguous. And isn't it crazy, like, with how strong of a duelist we view Soul Burner, that there was a chance that Blood Shepherd could have actually beaten him?
Yeah.
And we would have never, we don't know. Still to this day, we'll never know. It's all a fun debate. So, like, yeah, I like that they kind of, I do like sometimes them keeping it ambiguous, but this is fine to show us.
Yeah.
And Bocchi had the win, and he decided that it wasn't worth it, and
I
allowed,
like that.
It wasn't
I do
about
too.
the duel.
Yeah, it wasn't about the duel. I loved that for him.
A
But
little subconscious conversation.
also, what Kevin to Kevin's point, I think this arc has done a really good job. I said this during the watch along, of having other characters feel like they're dueling, not actually having them duel. Right, London, it felt like he was part of that duel.
Yeah.
Epoch,
Which is also
it
a nice,
felt-
funny comedic thing because it's like she
Yep.
kept threatening to fire him. He's like, I'm just doing what you told me to
and
do.
Epoch being terrified of Nail's
yeah,
Yugioh
yeah.
dragons, understandably so. Same reaction we as the viewer had when Nail back in 7 summoned
First
it for the
summoned
first
it.
time in 20.
and we hear that
Remember
blood
the
curdling
scream?
Yeah. Oh, and 7's Real Magician. That was Gakuto's voice actor
Yeah.
that did that scream.
And he also, as Gakuto, was the first one to scream Yuga.
Yeah.
Just
right.
God, oh my! Why? I'd never forget that reaction. You and Cal, bro. He's dead. He's dead in one shot.
What a great freaking scene. Holy
Amazing.
that scene has not been lost to time. That's still one of the best Rush scenes
what
ever.
the f, dude?
Yeah.
What? And he stands up and he walks off.
But it is good for that reason,
bewildered.
Kevin, as well. But yeah, I mean, I guess that's the kiss of death whenever a character duels for another character. Kiss
Yeah.
of death.
I guess so. Yeah.
Funny,
I'm
man.
bewildered.
I'm going to have to keep an eye on that trend.
I'm bewildered.
I never will forget that reaction.
We got $5 from Gravity Hero.
Thank you, Grav.
Thank you.
And Gravity Hero said, shout out to Scud for being the most annoying character to unlock in Duel Links. If you don't believe me, just look up his requirements.
I mean, I believe him because I know it's true. But for those of you that don't play Duel Links, yeah, Scud
Who
is
is
this
Scud?
random ass bully in Dark Side of Dimensions that gets, spoiler, incinerated in the first 20 minutes of the movie by Agami. That's the one where me and Philip,
was
we're
that
in the
the
theater,
subway?
yeah,
You were
yeah,
cheering?
yeah.
Oh, I love that scene.
Yeah, we're in the theater. Yeah,
Yeah,
we're-
cheering, yeah.
Yeah, we're cheering. For him.
I'd be cheering.
Yeah, and yeah, you can unlock him as a playable character in Duel Links, and yeah, the unlock requirements are horrible. I can't remember off the top of my head what they are. Nixie, type in Scud.
This guy a bully.
Oh,
Type in
Lord.
Scud unlock
Wait,
requirements.
hold on. He's
No, dude, and Nick. Okay, that's their
That-
reaction to Scud.
That is a ridiculous character design. Are you kidding me? He looks like a thumb. He's a thumb.
Yeah, he's bro is built like a thumb.
Well, Nick T, his gimmick is taking videos
Look
of
at- hold on.
people.
Hold
That's his gimmick.
He's like
He's-
a creep.
Scroll down.
Yeah.
Look at his character profile for Duel Links. Scroll down. Look at this.
It looks awful. Oh my god. Let me look up the requirements.
Dude, that's horrifying.
Now, I want to let you know you should watch. If you're going to watch any of the movies, Dark Side of Dimensions, in my opinion, is the best of the
Can
three.
I skip the first 20 minutes?
No, he's barely in it, but like it's worth watching
Watch
his
him just
final
get
scene.
incinerated.
Yes.
as
All
you
right.
would say.
You ready for the
Yeah, what are the requirements?
banish your opponent's card 300 times with card effect
Yeah.
to unlock his missions, achieve 1 quick victory against Scud, achieve 3 wins with 1,000 or less LP left in duels against Scud.
It's the banish 300 cards.
Yeah.
There's certain decks that make that easier, but just compared to other characters, that is such a pain in the ass requirement. It's unbelievable. And Nick T, you have to do all that for him.
Yeah. I
That's
would
the
do it.
character.
I do it
Nick
for
T would
you.
exclusively play
Yeah.
as Scud.
I have one more if you want me to do it
What a-
before we do
what
the
a
summary.
freaking clown, dude.
Dylan,
Yeah.
if you want
That
to.
is ridiculous.
We got $5.01 Canadian from Pick Rick.
Thank you, Pick.
Thank you, Pick.
And Pick Rick said with
Sorry.
And Pickrick said, with all these character arcs seemingly wrapping up, you wonder what they're going to do with season 3 with the expectation of it being 50 plus episodes.
That's a very good point.
I think like it kind of felt like they were almost getting all of these duels out for these characters because they're not going to really be used after. Maybe not all of them,
I don't think.
but like the older like UTS people, I feel like this was kind
Yeah.
of like their shining moments, and
Yeah.
then they're in the background for the rest of the show,
I agree.
and it's kind of like almost like a send off in a way.
Well, no, I'll be totally honest with you. Like when this new group of characters comes in, it would not surprise me if like this ends up being a lot of these characters' final duels, and this is like the conclusion because that is how it feels.
But I
That's
agree.
what I
No,
thought
like
you
the
got.
final duels where like UDS and others have to go fight these guys in
Yeah.
space, and they just don't come along for the ride.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
That's
It-
kind
it-
of what I was thinking.
It would
yeah.
not, and no, and that is fine. Like Manya Bochi, I think that was a fine. It felt like an end to their story almost. Asaka Galleon, I think you're going to feel that way. Rovian, you could feel that way as well. So I'm interested to see who else is dueling this arc, but that is almost kind of how it feels, and
Yeah.
I don't hate that because like if you're going to bring in all these new characters again, I'll show you guys the that is not the right poster. What is that?
What?
Why do you have that?
I don't know. Did one of you guys turn?
No, we talked about because we talked about Ricky Tiki Davi last week, I think. Or was that on stream? No, we talked about it.
I mean, there's so many things in there you have no idea.
All right, there we go.
I
That's
would
the right
appreciate
one.
this though. So this fan art.
I don't appreciate.
Would you
that.
agree with that?
Would you agree
No,
with that?
that's Scud as a Tem.
It's Pharaoh Scud. Yeah.
What if he's that good? I mean,
I'm
his
saving
requirements, he might be that good.
He kind of is
The
good.
name of the picture is literally Pharaoh Scud.
I'm downloading that image. Yeah, look at that. That's
Holy
good. That's pretty
Lord.
high res too.
If we're getting all these new characters, I think there's only going to be a select few of our season 1 and 2 heroes that fight them. So
I agree.
yeah, I don't think it's crazy to say that,
It
my
can't
man.
be too bloated. 'Cause
Yeah.
Like, oh, what if every character
Right.
duels? No.
Yeah, so pick Rick. I really don't think that's crazy. We've got the summary, ladies and gents, for episode 95.
What do you think?
No, I wanted to say also, too, Dill, before you go with that.
Yep.
You know, Pickrick, I saw you in the chat earlier saying the 6 Rovian fans out there
Yeah. What
will
the
be
hell?
excited.
We got 3 here.
I saw you.
Oh, we're
I saw you out
excited.
there.
We're excited.
We're excited.
I'm putting you on alert.
Yeah, no, that is uncalled for.
Don't worry.
No, no,
we
you
saw it
highlighted
and the
it
camera
and then
recorded. Don't worry.
laughed. And then laughed about it. I don't think I wasn't watching.
I
And
laughed
then
because I
he
thought it was
laughed.
crazy.
Yeah.
I thought it was a crazy
I'm
thing.
one
to
of those
say.
6.
You're loco, bro.
How do you feel about that?
What is who is that?
It's Scud and
That's Scud and Nagami laying down in a bed together.
the tension is unreal.
Can you stop looking up Scud fan art on this
I didn't. I
stream?
just googled Yu-Gi-Oh Scud.
Like, who is spending their time drawing this?
I know.
Is he really liked?
No, he's not liked.
Well, he's liked by Kagami here.
Oh, Lord almighty.
All right, Caliber, you want to read the summary?
Sure. Episode 95, Farewell to Zaki. The 8.88 million Vulgarians are nearing the end of their lifespan, and they want Tazaki to keep it a secret from Udius. Tazaki agrees and asks Asaka to help with this, but she vehemently refuses. not wanting to give up, Tazaki challenges Asaka to a duel.
That was good. Okay, what are your thoughts?
It's such a good photo. I took that. Yours truly, by the way.
Yeah.
I missed it.
It's you as Otis.
Oh, good. Yeah, he did take that photo.
So good. I love it. Leave it up. It's so good.
He put it up. He kept trying to put it up in front of the words when I was reading.
Yeah,
And he pulls it up
typical
the first
one.
time, and it was behind it. I could tell you were upset, bro.
Yeah, I wasn't happy.
That is art right there.
All right, Nick T, your thoughts on 95? Were you paying attention?
You
You
were.
got-
I got distracted.
All right, I'll read it again. Why
again.
not? Yeah, let's
Read
have
it again.
everybody focus. All
All right,
right,
read it
1,
again, my
2,
man.
3. Episode 95, Farewell to Zaki. The 8.88 million Vulgarians are nearing the end of their lifespan, and they want Tazaki to keep it a secret from Yugioh. Tazaki agrees and asks Asaka for help with this. But she vehemently refuses. Not wanting to give up, Tazaki challenges Asaka to a duel.
All right, Nick T, we're getting Asaka versus Tazaki. Your
Yeah.
thoughts? Asana versus Galliant.
Right. It's a
Again,
classic
it's like
matchup.
it's one of those where if you watch Seven's bonus, if you didn't, you probably don't really care too much.
Yeah.
Your thoughts?
I mean, obviously, having watched Sevens, I'm excited about the prospect of again another parallel between these characters that would sort of have a interdimensional history in a sense.
Interdimension.
Yes. But on top of that, obviously, like we're morally with Asaka. I don't know what that's gonna mean for the duel outcome, because as we've been shown, sometimes the character that wins just goes the other,
Yeah.
does the other thing anyway. But with that being said, like we're obviously we need to tell Yugioh. We need, you gotta. I'm excited to see how this pans out because, like, obviously, something needs to change. Yugioh needs to know the truth.
Yeah. Well, Pete, you speak to this because you had an opinion on the Vulgarians dying earlier, and it seems like they are reaching the end of their life here. Your thoughts, man?
Wow.
Who cares?
You don't care about the 8.88
let's just be real.
million.
Million.
Crazy.
I'm
That's
I'm
crazy.
interested in this duel. I think this is going to be. It could be a conclusion of these characters. I mean, it's literally called Farewell to Zaki, which reminds me of Jinoji Dies.
Dude,
So,
Tazaki could be.
you never know.
Tazaki's
You
not-
never know what could happen here. He's an older man. But to get these two characters kind of flush them out a little bit because, God, from her counterpoint of Asana, her interdimensional, kind of partner or whatever you want to call it, she's a far cry from that.
Yeah,
So it would
she's
be
no-
nice to see her get a little development here and actually win.
She's certainly no Asana. Yeah.
Caliber, your thoughts?
I feel bad for the Vulgarians that this is happening. I want to make sure I can point that out.
Someone wants
Because
a good
Pete doesn't
PR.
care. But I feel like this is trending in, like we were talking about before, like this is probably Tazaki's last duel, probably Asaka's last duel, or if not both, definitely one of them. Like I think
Oh,
it'll
yeah.
probably be Tazaki's last duel, definitely. And
Might be Tazaki's last breath.
well, no, I think it's going to be the last breath for 8.8 million Vulgarians.
And you're going to tell me you're going to shed a tear when that happens. That's gonna emotionally move you.
Well, I can be emotionally moved without shedding a tear,
Okay.
but I probably will shed a tear
Yeah.
because then we don't get to hear Yugioh anymore, and
Wow, what a loss.
or Vambiru.
But
Or
you-
Don
eight-
Badu.
eight
John.
point-
What about John Boo?
8.88 million cowards. I'm really sad to see that.
Cowards.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh my lord.
Holy
How are you calling them
guacamole.
cowards?
I
They're
believe actually I used your
warriors.
words back in episode 12's reaction. We called them
Oh
cowards.
my god.
If you want to pull that up. So nice try though.
Well, listen. Just because people are cowards doesn't mean they
No,
should
they
die.
changed. They changed.
I
I'm
don't
just-
believe in the
I'm
slaughter
not-
of cowards.
Okay. This is what you're misinterpreting me purposely.
Yeah, well-
I'm not saying I want them to die. I'm just saying that I don't
don't
have
know.
a vested interest in if they live or die.
But what about for Yugioh? It's not going to do good for him. It's
I
gonna
mean, I
be very
care
hard.
about Yugioh, but he'll get through. He's a strong guy.
I
be
don't
fine.
know, man.
He'll be fine.
I don't know, dude.
He doesn't
Sometimes
know.
how many times do we hear the stories of? Never mind.
8.88 million people.
No.
You think he knows everybody on that ship?
I think he knows a
think
lot
He
of.
probably knows 5 people.
Well,
But they
he
all
knows.
know him though.
Well, he knows John Badu.
Let's be real.
That's just the chant.
No, John is the first name. Bidu is the last
John
name.
Bidu.
Yeah. Okay, ready to make your picks? We're in the chat.
Sure, dude.
Do we have to?
Yep. All right. We're making our picks, chat. Make sure you vote in the poll as well. Probably don't need to for this one, but
Dredge jumping the gun.
Yeah, a little fast if you ask me.
all right. 3, 2, 1, send. All right. So the four of us
This
picked.
is getting out of hand. Okay.
Nick T, who'd you pick?
I picked Asaka.
Why?
Okay, do I have to explain that? I can't see Tazaki winning this.
Pete, who'd you pick?
Asaka. It's called Farewell Tazaki. He's not.
He's
winning.
gone. He's out of here.
You put a skull emote next to Tazaki's name. What does that mean? Do you think Tazaki's gonna die in this
I
episode?
mean, you never know. Jinochi dies. Tazaki. I mean, he's close to hospice. You never know.
Now in Arc 5, one of the episodes was titled "The Falcon Perishes on the Battlefield." Shun did lose, but he did not die. Everybody thought he was gonna die.
Well, maybe the loss hurt more than death.
Maybe. Caliber, who are you picking?
I'm going with Asaka.
Why?
I think this is the this is a moment where although the result of the duel probably won't change what happens, I feel like they're going to, like, Asaka's going to win this duel, and I think right as the duel ends, they're going to disappear, like the 8.88 million Vulgarians.
Thank you for that. I want to let you know Nick T has a render of Tanya from Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. And that is what they're laughing at. It's a render of Tanya from
This is why you don't go on Reddit.
from
Oh God, I'm crying.
Okay, yeah. It's an enhanced image of her.
I don't know if that's enhanced.
I don't think that is a real image.
Oh my God.
I don't
First of all, I don't know why that even came up. I just again Googled was Yu-Gi-Oh! Scud, and then more things popped up.
Nick T's in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Scud archives.
Oh, you know
right
what?
now.
Because you know when it's you Google
it's
search
dual
something-
links, right?
No, well, I typed in Yu-Gi-Oh! Scud, and then it starts like suggesting things to it, like modify the search, and I hit render, which most of the pictures are Scud, his gang, and then you get into some other characters, and then the Tanya one was one of them.
Yes.
But why was that zoomed in on your screen?
Oh, I opened it. I opened
Oh,
it.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, my stomach hurts.
Natalie, thank you for the $2. Oh, Dredger is picking Tazaki.
Yeah.
So the four of us are picking Asaka. Dredger is
But
picking.
he did put because honestly no one was picking him.
Yeah. Dredger
Felt
likes.
bad.
I got the coin.
Thank
Okay.
you
Heads is
for
Asaka,
the
tails is
dono.
Tazaki.
Okay, there's no heads and no tails.
Dude.
Yami Yugi?
Yes.
Asaka.
Heads. Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh?
Asaka.
Tazaki.
Tazaki.
Oh my god.
Let's go.
Come on. What do you think it is?
Yugi.
It's Yami Yugi!
That's
Dredger
Asaka.
truly alone with the
Yep.
Tazaki
The
pick.
coin joins
Even the
us.
coin of destiny has picked Asaka.
Because it knows Dredge is wrong.
Natalie, thank you so much for the $2 donation. No offense to Pete, but Rovian is a good character. But her poems, not so much.
Who said that?
Natalie. I don't think Pete would take offense to that.
No, I think they're an acquired taste of really
And
understanding
you
them.
can't account for taste.
Yeah.
That's what I say.
I don't hate
Also, Dylan claimed he could beat Yusaku one time out of 50.
No.
That's a little crazy. And then slander Yuga. Hope you guys are doing well. Have a nice night. Thank you, Natalie. I hope you have an amazing night as well. Let me just say this. They're still looking at pictures of Tanya. That's from opening 3, by the way, that shot.
Well, no, I was curious because like you know,
Is she that buff?
yeah,
Like,
she is
that
that
what
buff.
she looks like? Or is
Are you talking about her arms or a different part of her body?
All of it,
All of it.
honestly.
She's very strong. She
Yeah, but is it enhanced? in
And
this?
by the way, I want you to know that this might be a spoiler, but Bastion ends up with her at the end of the show.
My man.
How
he
crazy
had
is
some
that?
taste.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Oh,
I always
God.
loved that guy. The reason I was laughing
Actually, he doesn't end up with her. Cyrus does.
don't
What the fuck?
I'm
don't
kidding.
say that.
Oh,
Don't say
no.
that just ruined my day. But when you Google her, like obviously like, all the pictures, and then like one of them is like, this image may contain explicit content. I was like, but it didn't. It didn't. It was.
But he wanted to see
It
it.
was from, yeah, it was from opening 3. I was like, oh, that's why did they say that?
It's something.
Yeah, Natalie, I do think if in 50 duels, I think I could beat him once.
Not a prayer, Natalie.
Natalie also went on to donate $2 and say, wait, Pete, did you not cry at the end of Rand's and at Robapi's death? That made me cry, dude.
I mean, it was sad, but
The Robapi one
Both of those were very sad.
it was
I thought.
sad. But at the end of the day, Robapi,
was murderous.
it's a cleaning robot,
Well, but he had
his own hands.
yeah.
So
It
it
had.
was sad, but
Yeah.
like Robapi didn't really have a ton of development before that.
What about the death at the end?
Of I,
Yeah.
super sad.
Yeah,
That's because he lost his best friend.
Yeah.
That's why it's sad.
it's not sad because I died.
Yeah.
It's more hits.
It
for
would be sad
Yusaku.
if you died.
Yeah.
It would be sad if you died.
So silly, Natalie. Those were two sad scenes. I actually did a video going over why the Robapi scene I thought was even more sad because in one of the earlier shots you can see like there's a manual on his desk on how to build, so he put it together himself.
It's also those characters though. We spend so much more time with them. These Vulgarians, we're doing nothing.
I
with them.
agree.
My fault.
What are you doing, Nick?
I
T?
didn't do. Someone cropped this and posted it.
Look up. Never mind. I'm not going to say it. Elaine, thank you for the $2 donation. Hi, Dylan and crew. Do you think it was weird Yugioh could hear Manya and Bocchi's inner thoughts during the duel? Also, glad Zion changed everyone back to normal. Yeah, we needed everyone back to normal.
I saw you clap.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, getting
The
them
furniture
back to being
joke
people.
had run its course.
Certainly run its
I
course,
also saw you clap when Rovian said at the beginning she was giving up her space.
Yeah, he did.
I may have, yes.
Yeah.
I may
Yeah,
have.
he did. He's like she realizes that they're useless, and then at the end they're
She
the
really
most
did look
powerful
different
thing.
though when she did
She
that
did.
whole outfit
I liked her
change.
design. It was
I was
cool.
like, she looks completely different.
Yeah,
I
it
think the
was,
hair also.
yeah, it was a cool
That
design.
was a little good comedic bit when she literally bent down, immediately was completely changed in a millisecond. That was funny.
Yeah, that was good.
Quick outfit change.
Yeah,
She was looking for an excuse to go back.
Oh yeah.
She was. Yeah, cool. And then Elaine, also, was it weird that Yugioh could hear Manya and Bocchi's inner thoughts? No, I think it was probably done more for comedic purposes, Elaine, and like Yugioh is just like, I don't know, I kind of view him as like a low-key Superman where he just has all these abilities and
Yeah.
nothing surprises me
And
with
you
him
don't
anymore.
you don't need like an explanation for it. It's
Yeah,
just like
it was such a
that
joke
one's great.
episode. I don't think it's going to be a recurring thing. I don't
yeah.
know if it means Yugioh can read the minds. I think it was probably just
Yeah. Or maybe just saying like, that happens in a Rush Duel. People talk to each other's souls.
yeah, right.
Sure.
You know,
Could've
kind
been
of-
the cards.
Could have been something like
Yeah.
that for sure. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this has been fun, challenging,
Challenge.
but a lot of fun. Challenging because a podcast that usually
was a big boy.
really delves into one episode had to spread our wings and cover 4 whole episodes, a third of
month
this
of
arc
coverage.
Yeah, I think we crushed it.
in one episode. I think we did great. I had a lot of fun. We may have missed some points here and there, but I think we hit all the big stuff.
Yeah.
I want to thank everybody who was watching at home, everybody who was listening, whether you listen on Spotify, Pandora Radio, iHeartRadio, Apple Music, YouTube Premium, all that great stuff. Huge thank you to Dak, the producer, for getting it on the platforms. Thank you, Dak. Dredgenator, Twitch, shout out to him. Hopefully he'll be able to join us next week. Shout out to everybody who donated, super chatted. Philip, a lot of donations. Thank you so much. Thank all of you guys. We're going to go down the list. These 3 got some good stuff that they might be working on. Yeah, love you guys, and please follow them. Their stuff is linked all down in the description.
I'm just gonna pass it over to Nick T.
Okay.
I don't have anything to promote because
Oh,
I haven't
wow.
streamed in forever.
All right, that's valid. I also have not streamed yet in forever, and at this point, I'm not sure when that's coming back or if. But be on the lookout. Twitch.tv/NickFightsMoms. It could come back. Who knows?
Yep.
But on a more active front, Nameling's finally returned to social media. We're getting back in the swing of that. Be on the lookout for Nameling album, Nameling videos, Nameling merch. We're working on it. And on top of that, Mom Fight is slowly making our return. So if you're into some heavier tunes, you can check out Mom Fight NJ. We have the songs done. We just have to record them. We're doing a 4-song EP. So if you're into heavy music, you can hear me yelling on some tracks. And additionally, a band that I was originally just a live guitar player for. Now I'm going to be recording with them this weekend. Fragile Homes. So if you're into some rock band music, they have songs out already. The newer songs will have me on them as well. So Yeah, a very
that.
musically active year for me. So
like
be on the lookout for all that. Fragile Homes,
Cool.
Mom Fight, and Nameling. Follow all those accounts. And, stuff to come.
Let's go.
I'm excited for that.
Cool.
Before I go, want to give a little personal shout out to good old Dredge as well.
Yeah.
The man this past weekend got engaged.
Yes.
So,
Congratulations.
we didn't
Locking
say
it
that on this
down.
podcast. So, give him some love out there on social
Yes.
media.
Yeah,
we love you, Dredge.
We're really
Seriously.
happy for him and his now fiance. I can say.
Oh, I love
Yeah.
that, dude.
Very
Uh,
happy.
Makes you
so
feel all
super
warm
happy
and
for them.
fuzzy.
In terms of me, not as exciting. I have a YouTube channel, Clueless Gamers.
That's exciting.
Very.
Doing
Maybe more exciting.
no, doing a podcast. I host my friend Brian called First and 10. It's an NFL podcast. We'll be recording Saturday. Our time just didn't work up last week. That's why we didn't do an immediate episode last week. But we'll be covering everything. Probably 2 different podcasts. We'll probably split it leading up to the Super Bowl. So if you're interested in that, appreciate you checking that out.
Yeah.
And of course, follow me on Twitter, PeopleCow21. And also, as usual, Thursday night, tomorrow, about 8:15 Eastern Standard Time, I'll be over on Super Deep Prod and Dylan's channel playing and continuing Jedi Fallen Order. So if you're interested in some Star Wars, some little lightsaber action, and watching me die, mostly usually by just missing a jump and falling to my death,
That's about right.
come over there and check me out. Appreciate it.
Yes, please do that. Twitch.tv/SuperDeepRot. Also, we'll be doing a Master Duel stream right here on the channel, 4:30 tomorrow. And tomorrow starts the month. A video or a short every single bleeping day. Thank you guys so much. Please give them a follow. Nick T, Cal, Pete, thank you. Dredger, huge congrats to him. Thank you, Sim, for always. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Love you all, and I hope you have an amazing day. Take care, guys.
Good night, guys.
Good night.